Welcome to the Fourth Step Podcast. On each episode, we interview recovering addicts and learn their story with addiction. Through exploring personal journeys, we get a glimpse of the depths addicts fall to and their path in recovery. We hope you enjoy the episode. Welcome, everyone, to the Fourth Step Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I am an addict.
Hello, Kevin.
And with us is our lovely co-host,
Josh, addict. I'm here.
Hi, Josh.
Today.
Yeah.
And I'm Dan. I'm an addict.
Dan is our guest today. How are you?
I'm good.
You feel good about this?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to basically do a 4-step with you guys.
Yeah.
You know?
I know it's for a lot of people it seems daunting, like just to do it with your sponsor, and then you think about doing it on air where everybody in the world can listen to it.
That is a little weird for me, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, before we get started, I want to do a couple shout outs. Today I want to do a shout out. We want to do a shout out to Cousin John. If it wasn't for him, this probably wouldn't be so successful as it is. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, the software, the hardware, the updates, figuring everything else out, and the audio sound engineering on the back end, post-production.
All amazing.
Yeah, John does all of that. And so we want to give a shout out to him.
Thank you, Cousin John.
Thank you, Cousin John. And just some stats about listeners that we thought was kind of cool and very interesting. We looked up some stats, and we have listeners in Liverpool, England, Cabo San Lucas, the Philippines, in Australia, Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, Adelaide, Canada, Calgary, Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa. We have listeners in Portugal. Thank you to the listeners in Stockholm and the Netherlands, and listeners in Prague, the Czech Republic. Dublin, Ireland, we want to give a big shout out to them. We appreciate everybody that listens there. And also Frankfurt, Germany, which I found was pretty cool. So everybody outside the United States, we want to say a big shout out and thank you.
Also the people in the United States.
Well, those are our main bread and butter that listen.
Yeah.
But just interesting that people outside of the United States listen.
Wild.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, we're really relatively new to podcasting, so just to have people listening is great for us. You know, it's like they say when we share, if we can reach one addict and save one addict, it's all worth it. Mm-hmm. You know. So
yeah, we really didn't do much other than just sit here and talk, and then people just started listening, which was tight.
It was, yeah. I mean, this whole thing started with just a couple of us going, "Hey, we should do something."
Yeah, I was thinking about how when I was listening for this to get ready for this, I was thinking about the experience of maybe people who haven't done a 4th and 5th step yet listening to this and what that must be like.
That's what that's the whole purpose for me in wanting to do this is like it's not an impossible task. It's productive. It's healthy. It's okay. You're not alone. Like all of the stuff that we kind of learned from the process of doing it, especially the first time of walking through a 4-step with somebody and sharing stuff that you feel like you could never tell anybody, or things that you don't realize are affecting you, and the weight and the baggage that you're able to drop off when you do that.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Like if you haven't done it, you don't understand the benefits. It's like something you have to experience, and so by proxy, if people are listening, they might, hey, that didn't seem so bad, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah, especially a newcomer listening to the podcast and going, "This guy is telling all this," or she's really letting loose on everything that bothered her, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Or growing up and everything. So
Yeah. We talk about some really weird shit on here.
Yeah.
but it takes away the fear, or it makes it just, maybe it makes it a little bit easier for them to talk about their stuff.
Yeah, it really made me think about the experience of having my own sponsor tell me stuff before we did my step with him, you know, and how that gave me, it's going to be all right. You know, like.
So when you did it, this your first time you're talking about, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
your sponsor, before you guys did your 4-step, he shared with you some of his.
Yeah, he did.
Interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it during my first one. It was like, he was like, Sam was like, oh yeah, well, I did this. Oh yeah, I did something like that. And like, it just was like, it kind of like, it's like getting a little pat on the butt to walk through it, like it's all right,
Yeah.
It is pretty cool.
I don't know if he meant to do it necessarily. We were in a recovery house where one of my sponsees was living, and my sponsee asked him, he was like, what's the thing you didn't want to say on your 4-step? And my sponsor just like laid it out right there. And I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I don't think he even thought it was really going to benefit me necessarily, but I definitely was paying attention, and it brought me a lot of comfort because I was still writing it,
Oh, yeah. So it made it a little bit easier for you to get a little bit deeper.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that part. Yeah.
Transparency is a pretty powerful thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get started. So,
Clean date, April
Yeah.
7th, 2011.
how many years?
14 and coming up on 15.
So
yeah.
14 years.
Yeah.
You're that's funny.
Nothing short. Yeah.
I can't do math, so that's why I always have to ask how many years is that.
You gonna do anything on your 15-year birthday?
I'm actually flying back to my home for my 15th
Rhode
year.
Island?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania?
When you say you're home,
Yeah.
you still consider that
It's funny
like where you grew up?
when I go there, I'll call Sacramento home. So it's kind of fun. I do actually kind of feel like dual homed or something,
Dual citizenships.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when I go back, I can't wait to come back here, So
Yeah.
it's kind
Well,
of,
I know
If you had to pick one.
well, I picked Sacramento because,
that's where you're at now.
yeah, And,
All right.
yeah.
That's cool. So, did you say Pennsylvania? Where at in Pennsylvania?
It's a town called Bethlehem.
Bethlehem?
That's where I grew up. Yeah.
Is that near Pittsburgh?
Isn't that where
No.
Jesus was born?
Yeah. Yeah. It's founded by Moravians. Actually, that's why it has that name. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's Eastern Pennsylvania. So not.
Oh, nice. Nice. Very cool. All right. So your clean date, almost 15 years. And you got clean on the East Coast. Tell us about what happened in your childhood. And I mean, we usually are looking for any type of trauma or experiences.
Sure.
You might not call it trauma, but any of those experiences that you can reflect on that maybe cause you to feel like unloved or
Yeah.
different or
Well, I would call it trauma.
yes, something that made you want to get out of self.
Yeah. Sure.
Before I forget, I would like to ask, how much clean time did you have when you moved out to Sacramento?
8 years.
8 years. Okay, so you got about half and half.
Yeah. Coming up on half, which is crazy to say, by the way. I can't
Yeah.
believe time
Yeah,
flies.
It goes by quickly, yeah.
it does. Yeah, yeah. So where'd you start in childhood?
Yeah, so I grew up in Bethlehem, and like difficult scenarios growing up. Probably initially, like my dad was a drunk, and he was kind of like angry and physically and kind of emotionally abusive, and
Siblings?
I have an older brother. Yep.
How old were your parents when they had you guys?
My dad was 39
Okay.
and my mom was 35.
Okay.
So they're kind of older when I was born. Yeah.
All right.
How much older is your brother?
Like close to 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like a fat kid. And also, I just did like terrible in school. I eventually got an ADHD diagnosis in my teens, but, growing up, I was just like constantly getting yelled at, it felt like, and I'm kind of just laying it all out. And I guess we can expand on different topics, but
Yeah.
also,
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you, We're talking about your dad. Was he? Do you have like early childhood memories of him beating you?
Oh
or-
yeah, yeah. For
So
sure.
lots of physical violence.
Yeah, yeah. It didn't really stop till I got old enough to threaten back. You know,
Dude, that's my story right there.
yeah,
On the daily. You know.
There's no special way that this is supposed to go, so don't don't feel like you need to question the direction that it's going. If you think it's relevant, share it. If we have questions, we'll ask them.
Yeah.
Just you know, like
no, totally.
but maybe if you like, let's target a couple of specific events, starting at the earliest ones that you can remember and leading towards addiction and,
Sure.
and using.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the physical stuff was rough. I mean, aside from, I was thinking about it this morning, actually. Like, aside from the actual physical abuse, I think the most distressing part of being in a house like that is walking on eggshells every single day. You know?
Yeah.
Just being scared all the time.
Dude, that's that was a diagnosis when I was doing trauma therapy. It was like living in a constant state of fear causes you to have hypervigilance.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can remember my dad napping on the couch like during the day, and I was like tiptoeing past him, like because I just really did not want him to wake up, you know?
Yeah, what a way to live, huh? Mm-hmm. God, that's brutal.
Yeah, was was the violence random based off of his state of mind at that time, and like how bad was that kind of stuff? If you don't mind going into that.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Was it just like spankings, or like at a young age, or like?
It's funny you say that because I wasn't even considering spankings as part of it.
Okay.
But that is part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, yes. I mean, spankings were like regular, you know. But also, I mean, like at times, like closed fist punches or, I remember one time we got into an argument about chores and he threw me in like a chokehold and threw me into the garage door. You know, another time he beat me with like a Scrub and Bubbles can, like it could be. And to me, it was random. I don't know. Maybe there was like a pattern that I didn't know, but I was a child, so.
Sure,
Yeah.
So.
I could totally relate. I was incapable of putting two and two together
Yeah.
at that age, so it wasn't until later that I figured out what was going on.
Yeah.
I think at that age, to me, it just felt like, oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, fuck me.
Yeah.
I'm not very important.
Yeah.
Feeling,
Yeah. He was, I don't know. He was scary. And then, I don't know. It's funny. I think I didn't recognize it was abuse at the time. Like a lot of I would go to school. I remember this one time I went to school and I had like a slice above my eye, and the teachers like pulled me into like the office and were trying to like talk to me about it. And they were like asking me like, are you getting like abused at home? And I was like, no. I thought I was telling the truth.
Yeah, right? Because it's normal.
I was like, well, I was bad. So, I guess.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah.
That's
I
interesting.
deserve this.
Yeah. I was like, well, I was being really bad. So,
It's interesting because I found out later in life that you and I will talk about our childhood, or at least I used to talk about my childhood just like you did. Mm-hmm. I thought this is my life.
Yeah.
Right. And this is, I guess this is what happens, in everybody's childhood. And then later we have the perception, or we get to change our perception of our childhood as like, oh, this is a shitty experience I'm having, but this is not normal.
Yeah, definitely. When I got older, it is funny. You start putting like the two and two together.
Yeah.
Seeing like how you meet your first normal person, and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. You didn't get beat when you were a kid? No.
Right.
So some abuse growing up, and what else stands out? Anything else?
Yeah. I mean, so there were, I got sexually abused by my brother as a kid.
Was that hard to talk about when you first did talk about it?
Absolutely. That was like the thing.
The shame and guilt?
That was the thing on my step I didn't want to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember reading it to my sponsor with like my head down in the book, basically. Like, I couldn't make eye contact with him, you know. It was tough. Yeah.
It's probably still tough.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely the easiest it's ever been, you know, but
Yeah.
it is, I would not call it easy.
sign.
I would not call it easy. Yeah. I put it in the light many times with people, you know. Yeah.
I think it's awesome for us to get to the other side of that, like to have it out in the open, and then doing the work around that trauma,
Yeah.
and now we could just say it as fact, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't trigger
Yeah.
stuff anymore.
For sure. When it used to come up in my head, I would literally challenge that thought with like, that's not real, or like that didn't happen, and try to like stuff it down, pretend like it didn't exist.
Drugs are good for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, like
Is it like a one-time thing?
like 2 or 3 times maybe. Yeah. That I can remember.
How old were you?
Very young. And that's, you know, something that has kind of helped me with it is he was also very young. And we have never talked about it, but I really do wonder why he thought that made sense when he was a kid, you know? Mm-hmm. So, because that's also not normal.
When you say
No.
young, how young were you?
First time I was probably like 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So like very young. He was probably like 7 or 8. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I mean that would like bring up a lot of questions, but you don't have to question that anymore. It's just done, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel. And you know what's funny? Like, because we're talking about this, like, obviously this affected me and made me feel shame. But it didn't, when I reflect on, like, what was difficult, the stuff we just talked about was harder in a lot of ways. Like, the day in, day out grind of being afraid was harder to me than
For sure.
those events. You know what I mean? It was like,
Absolutely. Dude, I totally get that.
yeah.
Yeah. Being able to process each individual event is a lot easier than try to cope with the systemic, God, what do they call that? The type of trauma that just goes on and on. Complex
Definitely.
trauma, systemic.
Yeah.
It changes you, I think, more subtly and also aggressively in the long term. Like like being incarcerated or in facilities like that, constant like danger, fear, like hindsight, like I see it literally like changing like almost like my chemistry, like the way I feel and think, and
Yeah.
like it's like rewired completely, you know?
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to unlearn either.
No,
No.
and imagine like
Even if you're aware of it, it's still
what
hard.
your experience in like prison and experiencing that, and then looking back at childhood. Can you imagine being 4 years old and having to figure out the best way to move through the house without getting attacked
Yeah.
at 4 years old?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, and then you do that for the next, however long you live at home, you're constantly in a state of fear.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was when I did my initial 4th step, that pattern I really saw was like, my home life was so terrifying. And then even when I would go to school, like I was constantly getting in trouble and getting like detentions and like written up. And like they were always yelling at me, the teachers too. And then I would like take demerits home and have to get them signed by my parents. And then they would freak out again. You know what I mean? So it was just like never not in trouble. It felt like I was just always like, oh my God, here we go again. That's how it felt. And every day really felt like just a grind, It
When
really
did you get diagnosed with ADHD?
Not till I was like probably a sophomore in high school.
Oh, so you went undiagnosed and labeled.
Yeah,
Probably,
definitely.
right? Labeled? Yeah. Me
I
as well.
started getting like detentions in 3rd grade because just the way I was behaving and
Yeah.
not ever doing
Teachers
homework.
were not really aware of what ADHD was.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I can relate to that. So what led, like at what point in age in your childhood did you start making changes that led you towards getting loaded? Was there
Yeah.
anything else traumatic that happened?
Those are probably the big ones, you know. Those are probably the big ones, at least childhood wise.
Was your mom caring and nurturing?
I mean, you know, sometimes I'll joke around today still and say like my mom's almost like a second dad.
Yeah.
You know, because I wouldn't say she is like warm like that. And she's been a much better like adult mom than she ever was a child mom. In my house, my mom like made the money and my dad was home a lot more because he just had like less earning potential, which is how I ended up like stuck with him, you know, like a maniac.
Yeah.
And, but like, you know, my mom also, I think like her part would have been, she's not probably an alcoholic, but she is not a light drinker. And even when I was young, she would like stay out. You know, like a lot of my memories of my mom are her turning on the hall light at night because she just got home. You know what I mean? And I'm in bed, you know?
Wow.
So she just was around a lot less.
So if your dad didn't care for you, you know, care as in nurturing, and your mom wasn't there, who did you turn to? Did you have grandparents?
Not really. Yeah. You know, like I had a grandparent next door when I was like very little, and he was nice, but I never really was like super bonded with any of my grandparents.
So you
Was it your
didn't.
dad's grandparents or your mom? Or your dad's parents or your mom's parents?
It was my mom's dad next to us. Yeah.
So you didn't have anybody that was a source of
No.
nurturing.
No. Truly, I have like learned how to be
That's crazy.
normal with love clean. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Damn. All right. So when did you start getting loaded?
Yeah. The first time I was 11, and I can tell you, like just in general, drinking was very normal in my house, as you guys might imagine. Like,
Yeah.
I remember one of my earliest birthdays, my parents threw a kegger. That was like they put like a slip and slide on this hill behind my house, and there was kids, and they had a kegger. So,
Was that a normal thing with other families?
at least with their friends, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they took it as an opportunity to throw a kegger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And most things were kind of like that. My parents, when I was young, like they would take us camping, but it was like their friends and them drinking, and like we would just like sit there. You know what I mean? Like I thought I like love camping now, and I hated camping as a kid because I was like, this is boring, you know. So like I thought it was not a fun event, you know.
Dude, that was so, like, I got two older brothers, and my parents took us camping and water skiing, like, the entire summer, my mom and stepdad, and all their friends, and they would all drink, so same situation. And one of my brothers and I learned how to make margaritas when I was probably, like, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And he was, like, 9. And so we would be making the margaritas for all of my parents and their friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny. Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I was going to say,
Bartender.
it really was normalized for me, for sure.
Yeah,
I
for
very
sure.
much like always knew I would drink. Do you know what I mean? I was very much like, well, you get a little older and then you drink. Like we all do it, you know? That's how you deal. You get off work that day and then you have to drink. That's what adults do, you know?
Ugh. Brutal.
Yeah, my parents left all their booze out after like Thanksgiving dinner, and they went to sleep, and I started sneaking drinks while they were asleep. And I can, you know, we have that question in our step working guide that's like, have I ever used successfully? And like my first time using like really makes me think about it, because I still remember like I took a swig of like vodka and then like was like, oh, because I snuck out, oh, put it back, and like went out, like went back to the couch and was like trying to like play it cool in case they came downstairs or something and caught me. And now what I can identify as obsession had already started like the first time, right? But I didn't know it then. But I remember sitting on the couch and being like, oh, I want more. Like that was That was fun. Like I'm
Probably
starting to feel
part of that was the adrenaline rush because that shoved some cortisol into you.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, definitely like the sneaking around.
Is that the right chemical? The
I don't
cortisol?
know, but I was excited. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a connection right at did you say 11?
Yeah.
Is that when you're looking back, is that when you actually perpetuated the obsessive compulsive behavior?
Yeah. Yeah. So like at 11, I started like regularly sneaking drinks in my house. But by 12, there was a girl in my neighborhood, which by the way, it was really hard to find other kids my age using at 12.
Yeah.
But I did. And there was a girl in my neighborhood whose parents owned a local bar in the area. And so on weekends, they worked the bar. And so they would be out every weekend till 2 in the morning. And since they owned a bar, they also had a very well-stocked house.
Nice.
And so I started drinking over there every weekend pretty much with her and her friends. And it was fun. I mean, for me, she was also bringing girlfriends over, So I was like, this is rad,
Huh.
And I did that for a while over at that house. Yeah.
And that was something you're looking forward to all the time?
Definitely. Yeah. Like, again, like being able to identify like obsession, I would just be like counting days down during the week at that point. Just like, can't wait till the weekend, so I can use again. And yeah.
It's so mimicking like adults in your life at that time. Like,
Oh, yeah.
always looking forward to the weekend.
Absolutely.
That's, that's pretty young actually. Mm-hmm. I have known like a 9-year-old that got clean. Mm-hmm. I thought that was insane. That was 9 years old and already hooked. Mm-hmm. So what happens after 11 or 12?
Yeah, sure. So, I'd say like the next kind of like signpost I can really recall is like that continued into like high school. Well, I guess 8th grade I started smoking weed too. And then when high school came, that all that ramped up, It's much easier suddenly to find.
Ramped up, you mean just as in frequency of drinking and smoking?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Suddenly became much easier, right?
More people are doing it.
More people are doing it.
Yeah.
A lot more older people are willing to buy booze for a 14-year-old compared to a 12-year-old. You know what I mean? So, which is great. I mean, not saying that they should be, but they are. And sometime around 14 or 15 too, pretty young, I started selling ecstasy pills. And
So wait, so pot was the first drug you did?
yeah.
But it sounds like it quickly escalated into harder drugs.
Definitely, yeah.
Within high school.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like, speaking of, I always want, like, as long as I can remember, I wanted to do drugs. As soon as I knew drugs existed, I wanted to do them.
You weren't scared at all?
No, I mean, I remember, I don't know. I just always wanted to do them. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
37. High school ecstasy.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
About the age. I'm 30. Oh, shit.
You forgot how old you were?
I'm 38 or 39.
You did forget how old you were.
That's
I
funny.
don't know how old I am. 87. I'm 30.
I'm 89, so you're 39.
Okay. Yeah, I think maybe I'll be 39 this year,
Okay. You have a birthday coming up?
December.
Okay. Yeah, I think you turned 39.
Right?
Yeah.
39 this year.
It was that bump to the head that did it, right?
That bump in my head is fucking been a perpetual problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the ecstasy thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a slightly older friend who was selling it, and I tried it, and I was like, whoa, this is awesome. And and when you're like a kid, I was just like, well, I got to figure out how to do this all the time, and so that's why I started selling them. And he was willing to front me, so that was that's what I did. I started taking fronts, and selling ecstasy off my parents' landline.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, there weren't cell phones back then.
No. I mean, I think people had them, but it wasn't as like,
Blackberries, dude.
yeah, it wasn't like as
Blackberries
it is
and
now.
razors.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I sold ecstasy too, but we had to use landlines because there was nothing else.
Yeah. Right.
What was it, 80, 83, I think, 84? Yeah. And I went to like UC Santa Cruz because the guys in the chemistry department were making it.
Yeah.
So I'd pick it up direct from the manufacturer.
Crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So you're full on selling drugs in high school. Where did that take you?
Yeah.
With no consequences yet?
So if we're going to talk legal, I made it out unscathed despite selling drugs from 14 to 22.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was like a miracle, actually.
Yeah.
What was the progression from ecstasy to, did you start using more substances?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for a long time, I was kind of like a garbage head, like just like whatever was available, I would use. I remember when I went to rehab, they made us like write a list of all the drugs we've used, and mine is extensive. It's pretty much most things, But yeah, I when kind of like the addiction never became clear to me for a long time because I would like rotate, so often like the drugs I was using. Drinking was a constant in all this time, and actually the first time I started getting DTs, I was 15. So I started like getting really bad alcohol withdrawal at 15. And I remember even my dad at that time had been like in and out of AA a little bit. And I remember talking to him about it, and he was like, I was like, yeah, I think I might have a drinking problem. And he was like, okay, well, I'm going to take you to these, I'll take you to a meeting, and and I was like, well, not like that kind of drink. I was like, it's not that. Yeah. I was like, I'm not like,
I'm a fucking alcoholic.
yeah. I was like, not meeting bad, Jesus, Yeah.
That's awesome. Dude.
Yeah.
You're, so like denial is obviously something that you used to like not have real consequences.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's normal for us. Yeah. So that led to, the denial led to keep on getting loaded.
Yeah. Yeah. I and I used I did a lot of acid and mushrooms. At some point I did get prescribed Adderall for ADHD, and I abused that so much I got put in a psych ward, because I was just up for days at a time. And one night I got an underage because I'd been like drinking Everclear and popping Xanax and taking my Adderall. It was my third day awake, and the cop.
What a combo, dude.
Oh yeah, and the cop.
3 days, no sleep, and Xanax and alcohol.
Yes.
I'd end up in a psych ward too. Probably.
The cop put me in the cruiser, and I was acting so crazy that they were like, this dude needs help. Because I kept I don't know if you guys can identify or this happened. It probably has. But when you've been up for several days, for me anyway, I would start feeling like I was falling into like a dream state and then waking up out of the dream state. But I was doing crazy shit in the dream state. And so I was like falling into this dream state, and I was like cursing the cop out. I was like, you're a bitch. All you do is arrest kids because your job is fake. I was just like swearing him out, like, oh, you're so tough. You got a kid in your car. Whoa, tough guy. And then I would like wake up out of the dream and realize I was like cursing him out and feel bad and just be like, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that to you. I'm sorry. And then like fall back into the dream state and just be like, you pussy, blah, blah, And so he was.
Xanax and Adderall will do that.
Yeah. And so I remember, the only thing I remember of him is like looking up and down in the rearview mirror. He was probably just like, oh God.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some psychotic shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like massive bipolar, borderline, type of personality there.
That's probably what he was thinking. He's probably thinking like he's nuts, but I was just 3 days no sleep, seeing shadow people,
Yeah.
And he
good times.
yeah. Yeah, and they put me in the psych ward, and I remember they gave me like the knockout shot. Because then when I got there, I was like, I'm breaking out of here. And they just gave me the shot, and I was just like, nah, asleep.
Have you seen
Thorazine?
I don't know. It put me out immediately, though.
Oh.
What's the movie with Seth Rogen where they Pineapple Express? Mm-hmm. There's a scene where they duct tape the dude to the chair.
Yeah.
And they hold a cactus up to him, and he just looks around. He's like, I'm gonna flex and bust out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, when that came out, I was super loaded, and I saw that scene, and I hysterically laughed, like to the point of tears, just replaying that scene over and over and over again.
The identification.
Yeah. Flex and bust out of here.
Yeah.
I want to flex and bust out of here.
You probably did that.
Such a good scene. So funny.
So that's great. I mean, like some of the stuff that you've done, looking back now, those are the times when you're going, okay, this is a clear indication that I was out of control.
Yeah, for sure. Now it is. Yeah. When I got out of the psych ward, I just thought, well, I better not take Adderall anymore. That was my plan.
The problem's not me.
Yeah.
It's Adderall.
Precisely. Yeah. I was like, I better lay off that, switch to other stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And it wasn't long after that I did get, I'd been dabbling with opiates at the time already, like pain medicine.
How old were you?
But first time I took pain medication, I was 15.
Okay.
As well. It was really.
And so that's when you went to the psych ward too. Was around 15?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you're already experiencing institutions, psychosis. You're selling ecstasy. You're a freshman or a sophomore in high school, and you start paying bills.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like normal stuff for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never questioned my membership once things are.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did that look like? The pain oxys?
Yeah. Well, it initially was just like whatever pain medicine I could get. Again, at 15, it was difficult. So it was like Vicodin, oxys.
Norcos.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Morphine pills. I knew like a girl who had something wrong with her intestines. She had like a colostomy bag, and she had like a lot of pain medication. I used to get them from her. A bunch of different people used to get them for me, or I'd steal them out of people's medicine cabinets, you know? Yeah. And for me, like what it looked like is I thought like I had discovered, like a life hack, because suddenly I would take these pain pills and go to school, and I wouldn't, have to drink or be worried about getting caught being kind of drunk at school, you know?
Right. Yeah, I know.
And so I thought,
logically, that totally makes sense.
yeah, right. And at the time, I was already getting in a lot of trouble for truancy, which I did eventually get expelled for. But at the time, I thought, this is I can finally show up to class. You know, I'll just take a couple Vicodin, and I can go to school. You know.
I don't know if you guys can relate to feeling that it's necessary to be loaded to function.
Yes.
And I remember at that age, same age, that like I can't do school or I can't do work. I mean,
life.
Yeah, life.
Can't do life
without being loaded.
Yeah.
I felt like that my entire using.
Absolutely. Every time I didn't have a substance in me, I had like that, like what our literature talks about, that inner gnawing that would just be like tearing me to shreds. I would just feel like I have to do something about this, you know?
Yeah. I developed a belief system around being loaded. Like there's a state that being loaded puts me in that connects me to some fucking source. And
right.
Like, if I'm not in that space, I'm
source, like spiritual source,
whatever it is. Yeah. Something outside of myself. And I have like, that's the whole goal of life, is to be in that. Like that was the whole purpose.
Yeah. 14 hits of LSD over a period of 2 days did that for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was seeing Aztec temples floating in the sky.
Yeah.
You are an Aztec temple.
That was a Sam, I think that was a Sam Kennison line, the comedian. It's like, got so high he's seeing Aztec temples in the sky.
It's funny.
Yeah. There's something about like high school, being a teenager, getting loaded, at least for a lot of people that we've interviewed, was like that just seemed like what high school was about.
Yeah.
It wasn't about like addiction. That was like, oh, high school is for getting loaded.
Definitely.
Did it change for you like after you got kicked out?
Not.
How old were you when you got kicked out?
I was 17, about to turn 18. I got kicked out. So my birthday's January 19th. And this was very clever of my high school. They kicked me out over a winter break my second semester senior year. So they knew I was about to turn 18 over the winter break. And so they kicked me out just ahead of it.
What made that clever?
I think it's I'm under the impression it's much easier to kick out an 18-year-old than a 17-year-old
Oh,
out of high school. Yeah.
that makes that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of everywhere. There was nowhere left for me.
Yeah, I got kicked out and ran away and refused entry
Yeah.
from like my brother's histories. These like, oh no, we can't take another one of you kids
What
Yeah.
happened to my siblings?
because of you.
Yeah, it was kind of traumatizing. Like none of them were like troublemakers, you know. My sister tells me like, and my brother both tell me stories about like the teachers just in the wake of me were like they were assholes to them. Like, oh, Bedard, great.
Bias.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It just assumed the worst for them, you know.
yeah, yeah. I hear you. So when you left high school, how did that turn out for you?
Yeah. Not good. I
What
remember
was the progression like from there?
after I got kicked out. Yeah. So I remember at the time,
Driver's license, car.
not yet. I didn't even get one yet. Yeah. And I was drinking heavy at the time. I remember even when I got the news I got kicked out, I was drinking in my parents' garage. I was drinking a 40 and my mom came out and she had like the letter and she's like, well, I guess you're just like a loser now. And she like tossed me the letter, and I was like, oh, fuck. Guess I'm kicked out of school. And I still remember too, this is very addict. You guys will appreciate it. I remember feeling relief. I was just like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
I don't got to pretend I'm going there every day
anymore.
Yeah.
I'm stupid anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And, but yeah, I mean, it gave me the last obstacle to using was eliminated. And I remember like,
No, it's true though.
yeah,
Hold up.
yeah. And I started, I remember like it was maybe 2 weeks till I started filling a backpack full of drugs. And really just started trying to take my drug dealing full time,
Take the show on the road.
Yeah. Yep. And, I, was kind of getting more into opiates. I kind of ended up getting into opiates more so. It's kind of, one of my friends had heart failure. And when he got out of the hospital, like he was paranoid to do any drugs. He was also an addict. But he knew he could do opiates because he was in the hospital on opiates. And so he really wanted them. And so I started like, I was like, yeah, I'll find them for you, And so I started copping them more for him too. And then like, after a while I was like, I just want to do these, not that I stopped doing other drugs, but I definitely,
That was the focus.
there was a shift. Yeah.
That was your choice.
Definitely.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Your progression had a lot to do with the supply and demand, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And then opiates really take away your choice to switch stuff around,
Really? That was it?
I at some point I started getting sick and then it's kind of hard to take a break,
Ugh. I'm glad it just didn't stick with me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. Like I told you, I started doing them when I was 15 and probably the first time I got sick, I was probably 18. So like it took a little bit to really, maybe 17, something like that. I can tell you exactly what happened. I was doing like me and that same guy. My mom had like one of her friends needed some like yard work done. They were going to give us a few bucks. So we went over there to do the yard work. And at this time I'm using Oxycontin like every day. And, we're doing the yard work, and both me and this guy are like, God, I feel bad. Like, and we're like, oh man, we must be getting the flu or something. Because we hung out all the time, you know. He was like my using partner.
Road
you know?
dog.
Yeah. And so we're like, oh, I feel so terrible. And we're like, we need to get Oxycontin for this flu when we're done here. That's what we were like. We're like, that'll feel better. And then, you know, we did. We copped after we did the yard work, and then like we used it, and both of us immediately 100% better. And then at some point we were in the car, and we were like, oh fuck, you know, like we started putting together like, oh, we're starting to get sick. Crazy. Like,
You put 2 and 2 together, huh?
yeah,
We
yeah,
need to get more so we never run out.
yeah, exactly. Like it almost felt like it was like not a real thing that would ever happen or something, you know, even though we knew it happened. I was like, well, it's not going to happen to me. I'm never going to get dope sick, even though I do Oxycontin every day, you know?
How big of a city was Bethlehem?
Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of hard to compare to West Coast stuff because West Coast is so different in terms of like, you know, East Coast is so much of it is sprawl, you know, but I would say it's a good little city. It's a part of this greater area that's called the Lehigh Valley that has a couple of like little cities in it. It's an hour and a half from Philly. It's an hour and a half from New York. So it's like, kind of like, in my opinion, it's kind of like part of the city sprawl of like those cities, you know. If I couldn't cop in my hometown, I drive to Philly. Yeah.
So you're somewhat in the rural burbs,
Kinda. It's
whatever you want to call it.
yeah, you know, it's such like a different setup in the East because you're like the city area is very much city, but if you drive like 20 minutes west, you could be at somebody's farm.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Sacramento is what, like 40 minutes from here?
Yeah.
45 minutes to downtown?
Definitely. I was
And-
talking about that with my wife on the way here.
Oh, yeah?
I said Kevin has like the East Coast dream. It's funny, like,
Or the West Coast dream?
well, yeah, but I mean, like for me and Liz,
Oh,
was
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about having a farm outside the city. So we're like, hey, this is what we want in the East. But you can't.
You've been here
funny.
before, you said?
Yeah, one other time.
Did you check out the animals when you were here?
Yeah, yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. Kevin's house is rad for sure.
I mean, it's a comfortable place to be for me, at least.
Oh, dude, it's great.
And a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Your situation, like you're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You're selling drugs,
Yeah.
and then, but you're saying that you don't really have any consequences so far,
Not legal.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I've like really my whole life I've had like a couple speeding tickets and I've been pulled over with drugs and didn't get in trouble.
Really?
And cops followed me even after I got clean. Like my first 60 days, I used to get followed by a cop to meetings pretty regularly. So it was like I wasn't long for this world. And a lot of people in my general vicinity were getting arrested. Like people I was selling drugs to were getting arrested. And so I can only assume that a case was getting built of some sort.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But nothing ever happened.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. It's
But
good timing.
I mean, didn't you said you had cops sitting outside your parents' house?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. At some point, I was selling heroin and
Graduated from oxys to heroin.
yeah. Yeah. So something that is like maybe also a little different in the East Coast is the heroin is different. Like it's a different form. It's powdered heroin. And so,
Brown and white.
yeah, it's mostly white colored, but I think the main thing that is different, like out here, heroin is black tar mostly. And so people,
I have no idea.
yeah, it comes in a different form and it's a little different to use. And I think as a result, heroin use is much more common in the East Coast. And because it is like, my story is a very common story. You start with pain medicine and then it's very easy to start sniffing heroin when you can't get pain meds, you know? And
We were smoking oxys and then smoking tar.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
but you're saying that that stuff was powder form?
yeah.
Yeah, that would be easier to snort.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like, it is 1,000 times cheaper. Like, you know, not to
brag.
I mean, that's what happens, right? Like I ended up sick at the time. I needed like 2 Oxy 80s a day, you know, and that is like, you know,
A couple of points of white will fucking take you for a run.
two Oxy 80s is like $80 at the time. Yeah. You know, and I was, could get, like 180 is basically equivalent to one bag, which is $10. So I could basically have the equivalent for $20. So, you know, one day I got sick. I called a friend, said, you know, can you get pain meds? No, but I'm going to go pick up bags. And I like said no a few times. And then just eventually I was like, yeah, okay, let's do this, you know? And then after that time, I was like, I'm not buying Oxycontin. I'm buying heroin. It's so much cheaper.
That's the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
Oxy 80s. We just had an interview with a young woman, and she was in the wilderness program, right, Nicolette?
Yeah.
And she got to a meeting, and she started asking people at meetings, like, where can I find an Oxy 80?
So funny.
And they're like, they don't make those anymore, sweetheart.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
been away too long.
That's funny.
That's the first time I ever heard of Oxy 80s.
Yeah.
I'm like way out of touch, obviously.
Yeah.
I remember the panic in the circle of people when they stopped making them and nobody could find them anymore.
Oh, definitely.
And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, heroin's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a plan.
Yeah.
It was a trip.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Mhm.
Yeah.
I got clean like right around that time when they started putting gelatin in them. That's like,
The OPs.
yeah, I wasn't, I mean, I was already like hooked on heroin at that time, so it wasn't a big deal to me. I was like, whatever. But yeah, that's about the time. I wasn't using that much longer after that when they gelatinized the pills.
Yeah, I
So,
remember people. It basically turned them into Skittles.
yeah,
You couldn't render them down and shoot them, and you couldn't snort them.
yep, yep.
I remember there was people baking them. You could bake. You could.
There was a crazy process.
Yeah, there was something.
I never
you could
learned
do.
it.
You could powder them somehow.
So why didn't people just pop them?
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So you're all of this, and you're getting close to getting clean then.
Yeah. So sometime around like, 17, 18, whenever I switched to heroin, I also very quickly switched to shooting heroin for the same exact reason, right? Like I, one day couldn't, at some point I needed like 4 bags to get just not sick.
When you say are you saying mags?
Bags.
Bags?
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. More,
$10.
yeah, more junky lingo that's in Pennsylvania, since again it is different. All of them come in like little wax bags.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's what they call them, and
Bags.
they call them in the East Coast. Yeah, like, oh, I'm going to get a bag, or 10 bags is like a bundle.
All right.
Yeah,
Not that I needed that information. I was just trying to understand.
yeah, no problem. Sorry, I'm using old lingo.
We have a certain set of vocabulary.
Definitely, yes.
In our circles. It's just nobody else in the world, civilians don't understand.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
So getting clean.
Sure. Yeah. So getting clean,
What's the story that led you to getting clean?
Yeah. So speaking of, it's kind of funny that earlier we talked about like nothing compares to the day in, day out grind of just being broken down. And that's what being dope sick is like, every day you wake up feeling like you're going to die, like, every day. And, I was just so I shot dope from like 18 or so till 22. And so after like several
Were you doing
years,
crank too?
no. So I've actually only done crank once. Not as popular in the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even not to be like just anecdotally, the drug of choice among meetings that's like uncommon, which is kind of funny because out here it's very common.
Yeah.
But
It's huge.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, in the East Coast, most people have gotten clean off opiates, or like even a lot of the old timers smoke crack. So kind of funny.
That is weird.
Yeah.
All right.
Just a bunch of tweakers over here on the West Coast.
Yeah, yeah. When I got here, I was like, oh, that's different for sure. Yeah.
I would, because we've had conversations, or at least I have had conversations with friends from the East Coast, that like used over there and got clean over there and came back here. And they said it's a lot, out here, the drug scene is a lot more dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
just for that fact that people are so unpredictable.
I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah, I would not
Yeah.
doubt that.
They said it was a lot easier on the East Coast because, the heroin, the opiates was just like people are zombies.
Trying to get well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And not
definitely.
like tweakers out on the West Coast that are like sketch everywhere you go.
Yeah,
Creepers.
yeah, definitely. It's a different kind of like a different kind of desperation race.
Right. Or society. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
I like both.
Yeah. Yeah, I certainly was not averse to, some people are like, I liked this or that. I was never, I would have continued to be a garbage head, I'm sure, if I wouldn't have started getting ill from not taking opiates,
You're like, I'll do anything, but this is really important.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so your story to get clean. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
You realize that.
And I'm very grateful, actually, that I was getting ill every day because it was kind of the force that propelled me into wanting to get clean. I just been just feeling, terrible. At some point, just feeling like, the best way I could describe it is if I wasn't thinking about acquiring drugs, I was thinking about shooting myself in the head, like for real. That's all. I would like vividly think about shooting myself in the face, like a lot. I was like in a very, very dark depression after several years of just being sick, and doing the things you need to continue to use, like robbing and stealing, dealing drugs, and I remember like a bunch of times, like this one time I was like sick as a dog. My mom came in the room and I was literally sleeping on my bed that had no sheets on it, just sweating. And she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm fine." And she was like, and she was like, "This is only a few months out from when I got clean." And I remember she goes, "Well, whenever you're ready, come ask me for help," And I was like, damn, and I remember like feeling like the desire to at that time, even like, oh, I should just say something now. And I was just like, no, I'm good.
I got this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just need a couple bags.
Yeah.
Is that like the first time you ever had like thoughts of suicide?
Probably not, If I had to back up into childhood a little bit, I have like a long history of like self-harm too. Mm-hmm. I was always like
self-harm, like cutting.
Yeah. Cutting. I used to like punch myself in the face, and I would like say mean things to myself in the mirror and hit myself with belts and just stuff like that. Yeah.
Your parents weren't religious at all, were they?
No, not really. Yeah. I was raised Catholic, but like
pseudo-Catholic.
Yeah, nobody cared really,
Yeah. So there wasn't like a spiritual entity or anything that you believed in.
No.
So that's curious about the self-harm.
Yeah. I felt like the best way I could describe it is I just felt, yeah, I don't know. I felt ashamed all the time. I just always had like a pit in my stomach.
Huh.
Like every single day I lived like that. I always felt so strange,
Until you started getting like high for real, and that went away.
Definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For me at least, that was one of the reasons I kept getting high, is because of having that feeling that you're describing. But the self-harm thing, I remember having like suicidal thoughts as a teenager, because I didn't want to live in that world anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
But I just didn't have any, I don't remember ever self-harming. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was like almost, I had not like heard about it. It was almost like instinctual, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I remember like just wanting to punch myself in the face, just feeling like enough shame that I just wanted to do it,
All right.
And, yeah, I don't know.
So you got clean.
Yeah. So
what was the decision like?
Yeah. So I had stolen a couple checks from my mom and like cashed them. It's funny too. They were $40 checks. And I say that because it's like a real sign of powerlessness to me. Like I really didn't want to steal from my mom, but I needed about $40. I needed to shoot 4 bags at the time to not be sick. So I was like stealing my get well from my mom,
Wow.
But I really didn't want to steal from her, but I just had to.
So you had a moral compass there. It was just kind of muted.
Yeah. Yes. Even though it was there, I was just filled with desperation to use. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I didn't know is when I cashed these checks, my mom had it set up that the bank would send a picture. They would email a picture of the checks to her bank account, from her bank account to her. So she got emails of these checks that got cashed, and it was like clearly my handwriting to her.
Wow.
And so she confronted me about it. And what's funny? Like, this is obviously not the worst part of my story, right? Like, this is not like the worst thing that I've done by far, or the worst thing that's happened to me, right?
I could see that you, just by the look on your face, that was the shame and guilt was overwhelming.
Definitely. It was like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
Like I just been feeling so ashamed all the time that when she confronted me about this, there's something about it too, where it was so like, she came home with the pictures printed out.
Oh.
And like, it was like, I was caught so much with my pants down. I remember just like not even knowing how to lie about it, which was an uncommon occurrence for me,
Yeah.
to not know how to lie about it, she said, my mom said, I can call the cops and you can go to jail, or you can go to rehab, or you can get out. That's what she said to me. And I said, I was like, call the fucking cops,
Did you really?
Yeah.
No.
And funny enough, the reason why I wanted that, honestly, Kevin, is because I thought, well, I'll get clean in jail. That's kind of what I thought.
Wait. I'm just curious. Why didn't you pick rehab if you knew that you wanted to get off of that?
And this is like, because it would have required me to admit it at the time. But
interesting.
Yeah, that was like so scary for me for some reason. And but I kind of like, it turned out I kind of called her bluff, and she didn't do that. And I went upstairs and just kind of like shame sulked. And I kind of like spun out, and I decided I was going to kill myself. And I wrote out a suicide note. I was going to hang myself. That was my plan. And then when I got to the end of the note, I thought, well, I should try to overdose. And I realized very quickly that I was like, I don't know if I can really even afford to overdose. Like,
I'd have to write another check.
Yeah. And it's fun. Something about that was actually the thing that kind of opened my eyes. I know but I said, wow, I can't kill myself without drugs, And I kind of said, man, I think this is drugs. I think the problem is drugs, and then I went back down to my mom, and like the first thing I said to her, I said, it's just really hard,
What's really hard?
Yeah, that's what she said. And then I started like crying like a baby, and then
damn broke.
Yeah. And then she gave me a big hug, and I started looking for rehabs,
Really?
And yeah. And that's how.
So you like barely missed having, criminal consequences.
Yeah, if she would have called my bluff on that,
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So you guys found a rehab?
Yeah. And I got clean. I got clean at 22. Yeah.
In Pennsylvania? Mm-hmm. What was that like? Like you went to rehab, did intake?
Yeah. Yeah, it was, detox was a bear, as you might imagine. At the time, I was kicking, I was like dating this girl who was also hooked on Xanax. So I was like kicking Xanax bars because I was taking them with her. Dope. I'd been street copping methadone, drinking every day, smoking weed every day. So I was just like, I'm sure my drug test looked crazy when I went in there. I was shooting speedballs, so there was coke in there, you know. So I'm sure the rehab was like, Jesus Christ, this pee test is crazy, you know. Yeah, yeah. So they, so yeah, and I had like, for some reason they couldn't get me a bed for like 5 days, and I really like. Speaking of suicide, I was on like a suicide mission in a way for those like 5 days. I was really getting after it, trying to did more drugs than I ever, you know. I kind of like I was like, well, either I'll get extremely high or I'll die. And either way, that's good. You know what I mean? So.
I'm curious, when you share at meetings, do you ever share about like suicidal thoughts? Like
If I tell my story, I include that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I do. I include that. It's,
I mean, it's part of your story, but some people don't want to share that.
Yeah.
You know, for whatever reason, they don't want to share their suicidal attempts or thoughts. In my experience over the years, it's one of the most beneficial things is like specifically like suicide or rape or molestation, those taboo subjects.
Yeah.
That we're ingrained not to talk about. Those are the things that when we do talk about, people, you know, get hope from that you can stay clean even after all that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, that's good. This is probably a good place to start with. You got clean reservations. You start with the reservations first.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so even while sitting in rehab, which you guys will probably laugh at this because of everything I just told you, but I was like, I'm going to get off dope. I'm definitely going to drink beers when I get out of here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
Beer's not the problem.
Yeah, I didn't have a drinking problem, you know, even though I was getting DTs when I was 15.
I think everybody says that.
It's so funny, you know.
I tried it over and over and over again. Beer and alcohol. I mean, beer and weed. Like, as long as I can drink beer and smoke weed, I'll be fine. And
Yeah.
Never. Over and over and over and over, I did it.
Yeah.
Against myself every time.
Absolutely. That was my plan.
Yeah.
That was my plan, you know. I had been like shooting dope for so long that like I kind of wasn't like drinking that often when I was shooting dope. And to me, that was like evidence. I'm like, oh, I don't have a drink. You know? I wasn't thinking about, you know, replacement and how, like how the disease works really, you know? I don't know. And it really up until like, the last week I was in treatment, H&I had been coming in, you know?
Oh, yeah?
And so I was like, knew I was coming to NA and...
so H&I was your first NA meeting?
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah, it changed my life for sure.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they really, you know, I don't know exactly what happened, but I know somewhere along the last week of rehab, I said, well, I'm at least going to do a 90-90 before I drink. Because that's what, you know, that's what people are saying.
So you bargained.
Yeah. And I thought,
awesome.
I thought if I had 90 days clean, that would be like, I would be ready to drink again. You know what I mean?
Reset?
That's what I was telling myself, you know? And in Bethlehem, there's this like event that they do every year that I'd always gone to and used at growing up, specifically drinking a lot, and had like a lot of kind of like nostalgic memories tied to it for like being a giant, like they shut down a bunch of streets throughout the whole city. It's called Music Fest, and they have like bands everywhere, and it's like fun, you know. And I used to use there like my whole life growing up, and you know, like when I had like fun memories of using there, and so part of me was focusing on that, right? And that was going to be in line with around like my 90-day clean time, you know. So I was like, I'll celebrate my 90 days with a 40. You know, that's what I was planning on doing, you know, get my key tag, drink a 40. It's going to be cool, you know? You know, but I got a sponsor and
while in rehab?
Well, as soon as I got out. Yeah. Cause my rehab was not anywhere near my hometown. So I went back to my parents' house when I got out of rehab.
Okay.
Yeah. And, I started going to meetings and got a sponsor and started doing steps. And I did do a 90-90.
No shit.
And in fact, I mean, I eventually ended up making a meeting every day for a year. But that taking the suggestions. By the time Music Fest came, I didn't go. And like I had been writing a first step, and some things were becoming clear.
So it sounded like that Music Fest was a reservation.
100%, yeah.
Drinking in the Music Fest.
Right. Yeah. I'd always like partied there with friends, and it's like a place where a lot of young people like hook up with girls and stuff. So I had like a lot of very positive memories associated with like going there and basically partying and hooking up with girls, and I'm thinking that's what it would be like.
Was there other reservations besides that one when you first got clean?
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the big one, honestly. My desire to drink. But, after like those 90 days, I kind of was all in, to be honest. I like had seen the evidence of some of this stuff working in my life. I was getting like temporary glimpses of relief from that.
Like hope shots?
Yeah, just not feeling weird for, like that inner gnawing being gone for moments at a time, not all the time, but you know what though? I can think of something too. I really did not want to let go of old friends when I first got clean.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That got me loaded.
Yeah. It was hard for me. I when I first got out of rehab, really soon after I got out of rehab.
Loaded too.
I believe that. because I went to a party with my old friends like soon after rehab, and they were like, come over early. We won't drink. We'll drink later when you leave. Like, we're all at the house. Come over at like 5, and we won't drink till 7, so you can leave. And I was like, they respect me, And I did. I went there at 5. Everybody's wasted, They'd all been drinking since like 2, And I left. And I remember just, crying about it, honestly, because I felt like these guys were like my best friends, and it was like clear to me like this wasn't going to work,
Yeah.
Like we're not going to be able to hang out like that, They're not. Our lifestyles are incompatible now.
Yeah, that's cool that you were all in already.
Yeah, I was very afraid to use again. Like the pain of it. I mean, I can still picture it so well, yeah, that's the way you get clean young is by having a really terrible time.
Yeah. Yeah. I did the same thing. I got out of rehab when I was, turned 18 in rehab. Mm-hmm. And then when I got out, I was still hanging out with old friends, and I was trying to maintain staying clean.
Yeah.
But, they're sitting in front of you like chopping up lions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, let me chop those up. I'm not going to get loaded.
Yeah.
So I'm chopping up lines for them. And then, you just swipe your finger on the mirror and then shove it on your gums. And that was just natural. Right. And then as soon as that happened, I'm like, oh shit, I just got loaded. Okay.
Get one of those lines.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just that easy. Mm-hmm. Hanging out with old friends in old neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Nothing changed.
I tried to hang out with somebody I was in prison with, and I had been over to his house a couple times after work, and it was fine. But like it was a little bit sketchy because he was smoking weed. And I went over there one time, and my cousin was having a birthday party. Like, my family's mostly normal. Like, as far as they don't use,
Yeah.
And I had been working on building a relationship with family, so like participating in family stuff and trying to show up and figure all that out. And I went over to this dude's house just because I was like, I think I should go over here on the way home. It's close. I'm nearby, whatever. I stopped by, and they were smoking out of a gravity bong in the garage. And I took a hit of weed, like a snap that like almost immeasurable. Like it was so small, and didn't hold it in or anything. And in 10 minutes, my lips were stuck to my fucking gums. and I was worried about being able to get home, and I just had to hide my head under a pillow and focus on breathing. We went to my cousin's party, and my dad was like, "Hey, bud, how you doing?" I'm like, "All right." And he's like, "You gonna eat food?" I'm like, I just no munchies, no nothing, just paranoid.
Yeah.
Forgetting to breathe.
Yeah.
Like seconds would go by, and I'd be like, "Holy shit, I'm not breathing." Like realize I'm holding my breath.
That's funny.
Just thinking you can hang out with people, you know.
Yeah.
It's not safe.
Yeah. So you knew that you couldn't.
Yeah, you know, I was just, why you guys, I had the experience once before I went to rehab where I kicked pain meds before I was like hooked on dope. But I remember I was off for only like 2 weeks maybe. And I told everybody, "Oh, I'm quitting," you know, and it's kind of fun. But everybody, I was so used to being a drug dealer and having people call me that I like this intense loneliness set in, you know. I didn't really have like friends. Like I was like, "Oh, I have no friends." Everyone, or not that many. Like
You had customers.
Yeah, most of my interactions are customers, you know. And I was like, "Wow, like nobody's calling me," and I was just like alone. And then so I was like, you know, you reminded me when you said like you were going to cut up lines for him. I was like, "Guys, I'll cop for you. I'll sell drugs for you."
Yeah.
You know, and so like, you can call me to get hooked up, but I just won't use. You know, and so yeah, it wasn't. That didn't
work out.
No. I remember the second like run I went on, the guy I was copping from was like, "Take a couple for yourself." And just like, and I was like, "Okay," you know, and that was that. You know.
Yeah. So you got hooked again.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's a lesson for everybody listening. Don't do that.
Yeah. And you know, it ended up being really good for me because it turns out I really need to make friends with people in NA anyway, you know.
Right.
A lot of times too, I see people do, and what I probably would have done is, you know, hang on to these old friends so hard. Not even if we have like somewhat healthy, good friends, I find like people take away from the time they could be creating new bonds with people in NA, like people who become resources who know how to stay clean.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think after that time that I screwed up and was hanging out with old friends, I learned that lesson.
Yeah.
Because I just dove head first when I got clean to creating my own society within Narcotics Anonymous.
Yeah, right.
You know, that's where I knew I needed to stay.
Right.
Yeah. So reservations, just a couple. Yeah. So any other reservations, you think?
I can't think of any else.
Today
Reservations? Yeah, you know, sometimes and you guys would probably identify with this, it's hard to be as committed as I would like to be these days, you know? Like,
committed to your program?
Yeah. My life is so busy. I am I want more time to make meetings. You know what I mean? And
how many do you get to a week?
like 2 right now. Yeah.
And you feel that you need more than that?
I don't know. Maybe I'm shaming myself.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, you might be. Yeah.
I don't know. No, I feel okay. But, you know, Tom says this as like a joke, but I think it's good. Tom goes,
your grant sponsor, correct?
Yeah. Tom goes, I don't know how many meetings you need to make to be clean, but I know I don't want to miss it by one.
Yeah. So I learned.
I like that.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of information about balance.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and everybody is different. Mm-hmm. Everybody's life is different. So I can't tell you what you need, but I know for me, 2 meetings a week is my minimum.
Yeah.
That's me. Mm-hmm. And I usually make, 4.
Right.
But 2 is my minimum. And that my social circle is all, NA people.
Yeah.
Or recovery people or people that are supportive.
Yeah.
If they're normies, then they understand and know all our addict friends.
Yeah. Yeah. I have 6 sponsees too, and I know you have a lot. And that is, sometimes I think about that too, just because I'm like, that is a tremendous amount of time of service, which I'm sure you know about too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm kind of semi-retired, so I do have the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm also picky about who I sponsor.
Yeah.
I don't know if picky's the right word.
No, you're picky.
Okay. If I was picky, I would never have sponsored you.
You're picky as fuck when you said you would, dude.
You set him up.
Yeah.
Interviews.
You set him up.
Come over here like 3 times and get.
Discernment, maybe, like what fits in my life.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And so,
Definitely.
but I was, an old timer told me about balance.
Mm-hmm.
He said, take a look at your week. Right?
Yeah.
What do you have in stone within your week, your 7 days?
Yeah.
And then, put it all down, right? Write it all down. Take a look at it. And where is the time for each of the things that you need in your life, like meetings or sponsees or sponsorship or your work, everything else, and then start figuring out balance for you.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's a physical thing.
It changes though too. Things change. Like life, if life is hitting a little bit harder, sometimes I need 3. Sometimes I need to. Sometimes I'll only get 1. Sometimes I get 1 for a while, and I'm like, oh shit, my thinking is getting a little weird.
That's when you're out of balance.
Yeah,
I need
totally.
to get back to it, but I think two's a safe number for me too. That like mentioning like the support group stuff or like your immediate circle. I mean, you could even fill meeting space with phone calls or like, not to say that it's a replacement, but I mean, I know for me, like just having a constant point of contact with somebody, if I start getting squirrely, has a similar benefits to a meeting, if not better sometimes, because it's more intimate,
Yeah. So my sponsorship service is like, I mean, it's the primary place I serve. But also I think it keeps my like program pretty grounded,
Yeah, and accountable.
Definitely. Yeah.
I've been doing a weekly step working, just like hangout thing with a couple guys.
That's nice.
Dude, it's I can see the benefits. It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like weekly being in the act of recovery, like we're digging every week. It's been huge for me recently.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah. It's good.
So we're moving on to resentment.
Yeah. What were your resentments that stood out early on?
Yeah, big one. I mean, my dad, clearly, and that's still hard for me a lot of times, to be honest. Even though at some point my dad got into a fight with my brother, and in like the scuffle, he fell down the steps at my parents' house.
Your dad or your brother fell?
My dad.
Okay.
Yeah. And he got like a pretty major TBI. It's actually a crazy story, so maybe I'll tell more of it, but
traumatic brain injury.
Yeah. So I was messing around. I had some girl over. It was her first time hanging out with me at my parents' house. So
the girl?
Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
It must have been an interesting experience. She kept seeing me after this too. It was crazy. But yeah, I got like...
Found a keeper.
Oh, man. I got I sniffed something. I don't remember. Some opiate up in my bedroom. And then I went down to the garage and I was drinking a 40 with her out in my garage. And my brother and him were like fighting while I was walking out to the garage. That's like why I went downstairs, because I was like with her and they were like yelling at each other. And they're actually fighting. My dad had just gotten sober again and they were like fighting over, I gave a roach to my brother and my dad found it. And that's what they were fighting about. And my brother was just like, my dad had been like sober for like a week. And my brother was like so fucking annoyed that he was like, trying to be I just remember him being like, do you think you're a dad? Like,
oh shit.
Just like mocking him to his face, But then I heard like a big bang inside and I heard my mom screaming and I came inside and I thought my brother had like hit him with a bat or something because he was face first at the bottom of the steps and like a pool of blood. And I picked up his glasses, and there was like a chunk of like flesh hanging off him. And I was like, holy shit. And my poor mom, because I like jumped to my dad and ran upstairs and immediately went and fist fought my brother.
Oh no.
And yeah, and then we also like tore the house apart in that fight. There was like holes all over the walls and stuff. It was crazy. And I thought I had like really fucked him up. And
You were fighting it, like defending your dad?
yeah.
The guy that beat you your entire childhood?
Yeah.
That's some sick shit.
I know. I know. Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying that because I can relate. I never like defended my dad, but I was always in search of, his approval.
Yeah.
From somebody that's incapable of approving me.
Yeah.
So that's
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we went and brawled, and I had a friend over with the girl, and I went outside and I was like, I just beat his ass. And he goes, did you? Because my face all jacked up. I didn't know, I didn't feel a thing, but, yeah. He goes, did you? And then like, I saw I was smoking and there was like blood all over the cigarette butt. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I was like, that's weird. And then I started feeling around on my face, and I was like, oh, I was like, there's some stuff out of place here,
my face is hamburger.
Yeah.
So what happened? Your dad fell?
Yeah. So this is relevant to that story because he got
resentment?
he got like 8 staples in his head, and he was like jacked up. And
So he just like it was hitting his head on the way down the stairs, or what?
I have no idea, but he fell down the steps and split his skull.
Yeah.
And,
So the bone cracked?
no, but like he had like a terrible brain injury. He had like a little bit of brain bleeding and stuff.
Yeah.
So and that was like a week after he got sober. And my dad, like that time he got sober, was like drinking so heavy for so many years. And then the TBI happened, and he's like been kind of weird ever since, like not himself. Right. And that was, so my family's unsure if it's one or the other or both, why he like his personality changed, And that's kind of why I was kind of able to go back there clean. He was like neutered or something, It's the best way I could describe it. He's like kind of really tame now. He's not like how he used to be.
That's unfortunate that a TBI had to be the cause of that.
Yeah.
I can relate, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Josh had a major
brain stuff is trippy, man.
Major TBI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a resentment?
Yeah. So sorry, that has made the resentment kind of weird because he is not even really the same person to me.
You feel bad for him?
Yeah. I do. I feel like he's like, like he came and saw me here with my mom like last summer, and he like has trouble getting around now because he's like 76 or something like that. And
yeah.
I was like walking him arm in arm across the street and up in South Lake, So yeah, things are just different,
The scary thing from your childhood is not a scary thing anymore.
Not at all. Yeah.
It feels weird, but
it does.
So
I experienced that with my dad today too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you looking at that whole situation, you came in with a resentment against your dad, but it was attached to the events in your childhood.
Yeah.
Right. So you still had the resentment against the events in your childhood, but your moral compass or compassion or empathy is attached to your dad now.
Definitely. And part of it too is, Kevin, I had the experience of getting clean,
Yeah.
And so like, I like empathize with him on like just the level of being an addict too, and doing things you wish you never did or never believed you could. And
when you were telling the story, I was listening to you and watching your face, and I saw the change, and I go, oh, there's where his moral compass hit.
Yeah.
You were clean, you had sound mind, and you're going, yeah, I fucking hated my childhood, but look at this poor guy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a pretty cool process to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly how I feel. Mm-hmm. And it's complex because like, kind of like what I felt like Josh was describing a little bit earlier. Like, I have struggled with feelings of anger my whole life.
Yeah.
And when I like struggle with it, I really have a tough time not blaming him, and it's like weird to be like blaming a guy who kind of doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Well, it's cool that you're like, you hit the moral compass in empathy and compassion now.
Yeah.
That's a testament to the program works.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I agree with all that because you and I share the same childhood, and that I was able to get to that. A lot of that happened for me knowing my dad's background.
Yeah.
His childhood.
Right.
And same with my stepmom, knowing her background in childhood. I'm like, well, that all makes sense, man. I have love and compassion for him now.
Yeah. Yeah. My parents refuse to tell me anything, even vaguely emotional. They're both from like the coal regions in Pennsylvania, if that helps you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents don't talk about feelings either.
Not at all. Yeah. Yeah.
So that I just find it totally interesting that you never found the nurturing as a child.
Yeah.
From anybody in your family or anybody outside of your family.
No.
It just never happened for you.
No. I remember when I got clean, my first sponsor, I remember he told me he was proud of me, and it was like, I almost broke down crying, It was like I was like, oh my God,
Somebody approves of me?
Yeah, yeah.
That's huge, dude.
I know, yeah.
No wonder staying in the program can be an addiction itself.
Yeah.
Because you're getting approval from a genuine approval. Mm-hmm. Not just words. People actually care about you here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It was like a new experience. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any more resentments?
Yeah, I had a tough time with my mom, and I still do too with that to a degree. Just feeling really abandoned when I was a kid, and even to this day, it's like, I can't help but really love my mom, but feel like she's like, it's like pulling teeth to get some love out of her sometimes, Yeah.
Do you feel that you have to have love from her?
No, I guess I just want it. You know what I mean? I just really want it, I guess.
You want it from somebody that's incapable of giving it?
I try all the time, Kevin. Yeah. No, I try. You're right.
We're complicated, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really try to get it from her pretty often. And I don't know. She does love me in her own way. That's obvious.
Yeah.
It's just not like the way I want it to be,
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. Some parents aren't wired to give, nurturing or compassion.
Yeah.
Outwardly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm. Do you have any resentments still today or new ones that come up? And do you process those right away or do they stick around?
Yeah. I do pretty good at I would say I process them pretty quickly usually. Yes, I end up with new resentments for sure.
I'm sure. Yeah, we all do.
I had a really, this is one that like persisted. This isn't necessarily today, but I think it's in my clean time, and it persisted a while. But I had like two good friends in my earlier recovery who at some point like decided they didn't really like me anymore and like broke off from me together and stayed friends, but like kind of cut me out of the group. And they made it into like my whole first round of steps basically because of that. It's really tough. There's like a line in our 8-step literature in the working guide that kind of talks about the harm of like just ghosting people basically, and I never really thought about it when I like ghost people. It was like a way of life when you're using,
Yeah.
But that was like when it happened to me clean, I was like, oh my God, that does hurt like really bad, like they never gave me like a good reason or never had a conversation with me about it. And
still?
Well, so both of them are not clean anymore. And, I keep like a little bit in touch with one of them because he like floats in and out of like meetings here and there. And, we kind of have like a irregular phone relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, both of them at some point relapsed.
They're still in Pennsylvania though.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be somebody that you would see.
No. Yeah, no.
So, I mean, I don't know if this is true, but almost out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I worked through it eventually. I did. I don't
Good.
I don't hang on to it anymore, but it did take a while. And I like genuinely wish the best for them. I hope,
How did you work through it?
yeah, putting it down the step work repeatedly, and kind of just trying to practice that forgiveness for them and practicing empathy. It probably did become a little easier to practice empathy for them after they had used, because it was kind of like, well, these people are just in pain now,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they could have been in pain then too,
Definitely.
but not talked about it.
that's exactly what I thought about, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's, you did process
Yeah,
all the way
They
through.
were on their way out. They just didn't know it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I did think about that too. Like they were kind of like, I also worked with them, which made it like complicated. I was a construction worker for my first few years clean. And we all worked at the same company. And they were kind of like, we were all in our first couple years clean, and they were kind of already like pulling back from like their attendance.
Yep.
And I was not at all. And I think maybe like that too was kind of weird for them, probably, like I was very much still full in, and they were kind of like,
Yeah. I
floating
mean, that's a common process for a lot of people is like a friend or two they could have been your best friend and they start pulling away. And next thing you know, you hardly ever see them again.
yeah,
And I mean, that's happened to me now is like I've had a best friend for, like 15 years. And now I might talk to him once every 3 weeks.
right.
So, I mean, it's just part of the cycle, I guess,
Yeah, for sure.
because
Yeah.
people's lives change.
Yeah.
So after resentments, we had reservations, resentments, fears. Right? Is that right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, fears is one of the things. Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
Fear. Do you have any resentments today?
Yeah. Good question, Josh. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I've had some issues with this is even more current. I've had some issues with my previous sponsor. Actually, he was my I moved on sponsorship here to Carson.
Oh, yeah.
But I kept the same sponsor in Pennsylvania for like 12 years, and so I was very close with him. And by the time I was moving on, he was kind of like, seemed disinterested in sponsoring me. And I would say it was like kind of being like a little mean to me sometimes even. And, I don't know, he's going through his own stuff for sure,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's going through a lot of his own stuff at home. And so I was trying to be like empathetic and just like let him go through it, But he also has this thing where like when people move on, he's like never been good at accepting it. And I knew this about him because anytime someone moves on, he really struggles with it. He feels like hurt or insulted, And when I moved on from him, he was like so weird to me about it. And people from Pennsylvania told me that he was like saying like some things about me. And I was like, don't even tell me. I'm like, I don't even want to know.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like just more confirmation that you needed to move on.
Definitely. Yeah. And, yeah, I that decision was correct. I mean, I felt like that was the right decision for a lot of other reasons too,
Yeah.
But I mean, even just like, it's just nice to have a local sponsor again, someone who I can see in a meeting and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but I kind of been working on that and trying to work through it. And, I'm flying home soon, and I actually texted him, and this is why it's fresh in my mind too. But I texted him and was just like, hey, I'm coming home. I'd love to see you if you want to hang out. Even though we didn't really talk for, I don't even know how long I've been moved on for. Over a year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
And he, we have barely spoke the whole time, but he was really receptive, and he offered to give me a ride back to the airport, and people are telling me he's excited to see me and stuff. So,
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
good.
Yeah, maybe he's working
Maybe
through
he's
it too.
processed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad I reached out to him. Because I mean, he's like one of my best friends for a long time. So it was like
Right.
strange not to be able to like, when I first moved on, like there was part of me that like wanted to be able to talk to him sometimes when stuff was coming up because I just had so much trust for him.
Yeah.
Just total faith that I could be
Yeah.
not judged.
I don't put any attachment onto if a sponsee wants to move on now.
Yeah.
I don't remember like in early recovery so much, but I take it the same way that I had to move on from some of my early sponsors.
Yeah.
And it's not like it is personal, but it's not detrimental.
Yeah.
Right. The reasons
Never bugged me either.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
because I knew that I needed to get something else from someone else.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's always been the case.
I struggled with it when I did it, but now that I've done it, it's like, oh, this is normal.
Yeah.
This is a thing that I think people should do.
Yeah, for sure.
If you need to do this is a thing you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, sometimes we just find the person.
Yeah,
You know.
right.
But your reflection back on it and giving him an opportunity, right, to at least be somewhat cordial and to you can be a catalyst for him to see change
Yeah.
or seek change.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, whether whether he would like to admit it or not, I'm also one of his best friends,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure he maybe that peeked its way through his resentment a little bit.
Yeah. Well, good.
So
All right. That was the last resentment. So we're going to start on fears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fears coming in to recovery.
yeah.
One that Kevin likes to use as an example is I'll get loaded again, or I'm going to turn into a lame, or
Fear of failure.
have failure.
Yeah. I mean, definitely like, yes, every one of those. Yeah. I mean, I had never been dedicated to anything or stuck with anything my entire life.
Yeah.
And so when I got clean and like the idea of lifelong recovery, I just thought, oh man, how am I ever going to overcome that thing where, eventually, like kind of the third step talks about like when the euphoria wears off, how am I going to keep going to meetings after the euphoria wears off, after this is not exciting or something,
And the
like,
pink cloud goes away.
right. Like my experience before being in NA is when the euphoria wears off, I stop doing it, like when something's not fun anymore, I can't make myself do it. I can't be disciplined, And so, yes, I was absolutely worried about that. Like, or when the euphoria wears off from what it feels like to be clean, the joy of being clean. I thought like one day, like that joy would disappear and I would be forced to be bored, like,
And have you been?
no, it's been the greatest life I can never imagine,
Right.
So it turns out that was an unfounded fear, but I didn't know that when I was coming in,
Right. Yeah. I mean, of course, especially because you were 22
Yeah.
and you still had a lot of fun to be had.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was the same way. My wife was the same way. The 20 other kids that got clean at the same time in the mid 80s was the same way. And we made our own fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, when I got clean, there was a lot of young people who got clean in my old area, and I'm super grateful for that because we just did like kind of dumb kid stuff, and
Yeah.
but it was fun. Like we would stay up too late swimming in a friend's pool, and then I have to go to work with like 3 hours of sleep,
Yeah.
but or drive
yeah.
drive crazy places for meetings, and just have road trips and just whatever,
Yeah. So we created our own fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. Any other fears?
Yeah, I still struggle. I'm like always afraid to become like my dad, and I'm sure
With violence or anger?
anger, becoming
Really?
like an angry, cranky guy, who is not fun to be around.
Yeah.
I think when I like struggle with anger, that is some of the shame that comes up for me. It's kind of like, oh my God, it's just like my dad, you know. You know.
Do you feel in your heart that you're an angry person?
I don't do a lot of angry things, if that makes sense. But I will feel frustrated, I feel like, more easily than people.
Yeah.
And I kind of...
How do you gauge that?
I will feel internal distress.
Yeah,
and
comparatively to other people, though, how are you gauging that?
I'm comparing my insides to their outsides.
Dan. Attaboy.
100%. Yeah.
That's funny. All right, so I have a question for
I'm
you.
angry all the time, but I don't act angry.
Yeah.
I think it comes in waves, right? There's times where you don't experience it, and there's other times where it just...
Definitely.
I think I've been working on this a lot, specifically anger, because it's been coming up for me a lot lately, to the point where like it's starting to show up in my relationship, not outwardly but inwardly, which Sadie can sense. She can feel it, and so it's like right now there's lots of contributing factors that lead me to I only have this much available space for interactions or questions that don't feel important to me at that moment, or things that typically I would want to show up for or participate in. I'm having a hard time finding space for that stuff because my head is so preoccupied with other stuff.
Right.
It's like my fuse is shorter, or my social units are minimized. Like I'm not able to show up, so anything could be too much at any given time. All of a sudden I'm like, dude, I'm mad as fuck right now, and I don't even know why. And it's not even something I can really process. I can just feel the anger just down inside, like, this is not good, dude.
I call it low resilience. That's what I've termed it.
That's good.
I put a name to it so I could try to explain it to Liz. For the same reason, I'm like, hey, sorry, I have low resilience right now.
I am overstimulated right now.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm overstimulated. Hold on. I need a second.
I throw the blanket term over that because I experience it too at times. And when it happens, I immediately recognize I'm out of balance. Something needs to change because I'm out of balance.
Right.
This extra stuff is causing me the frustration, the anger, or whatever you want to label that. Yeah. And so I need to take a look at what's going on in my life. But I had a question for you about your perception of anger and frustration. Are they two different things?
Yeah.
So because you and I share a like childhood with the violence, my wife has never experienced it. Her household growing up is no emotion.
Right.
Period. No feelings, no emotion. And ours was volatile. Yeah. And for me, my scale, if I'm angry, is my voice is louder, my body builds up huge, and I'm either defending myself or I'm aggressive. Yeah. And frustration to me is way down here. It's lower. So the scale is different. And then
for everybody.
Yeah. And then when Jen looks at me being frustrated, she attaches anger to it. So I'm not angry. I'm frustrated. Frustrated is a small aggravation of I'm frustrated that the software in this podcast had to update and it took me half an hour to figure it out. Right. Yeah. I was frustrated with that. Definitely not angry because nothing got broken. There was no blood. Yeah. Right. And I didn't harm anybody. So I was just curious if you shared that same scale.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Yes, but I feel like you articulated it really well.
And Liz has a different scale?
Definitely, yeah. Liz is probably more similar to your wife in the way you described it. She grew up in a house that's more comfortable with zero emotion. Yeah, and you're right. Many times Liz is like, calm down.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I do totally all the time.
Yeah, like I'm at like a 1 right now. Yeah.
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 God, that's so funny.
If I start finding myself like, if I start finding myself romanticizing or visualizing actions that correlate with the frustration
Definitely.
or anger, that's kind of like where I like it goes from frustration to anger. If I'm visualizing violence or or yelling in my head or like if it's taking me away from right now, it's like becoming anger.
Definitely.
Frustration is just like, all right, what are we doing? Let's figure this out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sure, yeah. Like it's not a big deal at that point, but if it starts taking up space, I don't know. Like if I'm bouncing somebody's face off their steering wheel in traffic, I'm angry, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. In my head, I'm doing that. I'm not actually doing that.
Right.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I've noticed I will start, like if I'm holding it back, I'll still be like,
Oh yeah, that's good too. That's a good indicator. You're consciously having to hold it back.
absolutely. I'll start like rehearsing the speech I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah. The act of having to hold it back is probably a good indicator. I'm angry right now. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, one of the things my very first sponsor told me was about he can identify his spiritual condition by the amount of times he swears at somebody or something. He's swearing at them. Like swearing is common. Like I fucking love this podcast or whatever. You know, that's a description of how I feel. But when I say fuck him,
Right.
I'm angry. Right? If I'm frustrated, I go, that guy's a dick. But if I'm attacking him, you know, purposely,
Right.
I feel that that's the start. That's the bottom level of anger. And it just gets worse from there. So,
That's a good indicator.
yeah.
Life is sneaky, dude. It can shorten the fuse or get you out of balance or take up social units really fucking quickly and very sneakily. Like
Absolutely.
you don't notice, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm fucked up, dude. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it can happen so fast.
So that was fears.
Yeah. I think those are probably the failure stuff too. I think was always complicated by like I had always gotten like horrible grades, been unemployable. You know, I got expelled, like I said. You know, and so I had this like really deep belief when I got clean that I was like not capable, and I had ADHD, so I just like believed I was stupid.
So did you like look back now, the ADHD, did that make sense of how everything turned out in your childhood, or like concerning like grades and jobs and all that stuff?
Definitely. Yeah.
So you don't have any, do you still attach shame and guilt to that, having ADHD?
Sometimes when I see the symptoms of it show up in my life and it's difficult for me to like deal with, you know? Like if I'm getting distracted repeatedly or like even like little like house chores and like it, more than once have I taken the laundry out of the dryer, put that in the basket, put the like wet laundry in the dryer and just walked away with the door open, for example. Like,
yeah,
I do stuff like that a lot. Like, and my wife is a good sport about it, and she like laughs at it, luckily. But, you know, for me, like when I do stuff like that, I'm just like, oh God, you know. Like,
have you addressed it? Your ADHD?
Yeah. What do you mean by that? Like
medication?
Yeah, I've taken medication in recovery, like the non-narcotic kinds. Yeah. I've gone on and off.
Did it help at all?
Yeah, it does. It does help me a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
I have the same ADHD. Actually, I have ADD. No hyper, but still the process when you talk about the laundry, I have the same thing. I pick up one thing in here that I need to take care of, and by the time I get to the kitchen, I've got 4 things in my hand.
Yeah.
All different. All need to get taken care of.
And you don't know why you have them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then none of them get taken care of. That's, I can relate.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is one, like, the shame of, like, not finishing a task or something, or like it has spun me out in the past.
I finally sought medication, and I've got to a point, and it's the non-narcotic. And I got to a point where I don't feel physically the effects of the medication.
Yeah.
And that's what I was worried about.
Yeah, right.
And then I find myself starting to spiral and catching myself before I go.
It gives you that little bit of like a
awareness.
Yeah, right. Gives you that break so you can go, oh.
So I have, for me personally, I've found relief.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Going our whole lives with that.
Ugh, yeah, definitely.
That's a frustration in itself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, and I think, like, now, when I have stuff like that, it's actually just like normal people things. But I'm just so sensitive to it. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody is perfectly not forgetting stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But I just feel like, to me, it's like a sign that I'm like stupid or something, you know?
No.
Yeah.
We're more normal than you believe.
Tell yourself a more fucked up story than you need to.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
I
would tell you to put the bat down.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I have a lot of evidence I'm not stupid now.
See?
Clean.
Yeah.
You know, I got 2 degrees clean, and you know, my grades were quite good, you know, which I never believed I'd be able to do, really. It was actually NA stuff that helped me do that. Like, I always thought, like, people were smart and that's why they got good grades and not because they were working hard at school. You know what I mean? There was a guy in NA who shared, people don't go to school because they're smart. They go to school to learn. I used to hear people, he would say that. And I remember when I was new, I was like, oh, it really clicked for me.
That's so profound.
Yeah. I was like, you're not supposed to know everything already? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole self-image, the talk in your head, that can be very detrimental. I think Josh and I, or some other sponsees, we've all had the conversation about, I'd tell them, if you want to gauge how you're doing in life, it's not the stuff, the material things.
Yeah.
Take a look at your friend circle. Take a look at the people around you and who you're surrounded with, and that'll give you a good indication of how,
and who you can't be around.
Yeah, right.
It'll give you a good indication of how well your life's going. Because if you look around and you go, oh, these are some solid, loving, caring, nurturing people that have your best interest at heart, you're doing pretty well in life.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Right.
If you have people close to you in your circle that are still committing crimes,
yeah, right,
you might want to think about it.
Even just people that are just spiritually not in the same place. Like, the more work I do, the less space I have for
toxic people.
I can't handle it.
Yeah,
To, you know, I've been through a couple of different phases with that, and like, there was a phase where it was like aggressively like anti anybody that wasn't doing exactly what I was, and then there was like some unconditional love that kind of put me into this place of like acceptance and meeting everybody where they're at, and now it's turning more into like meeting everybody where they're at, but also like really not have like I don't have much space for like extra shit that doesn't work, you know? Like I don't know. But anyway, I say all that to say that paying attention to behaviors in other people that don't sit well with me spiritually is an indicator for me of like, oh, that's just like you're not in the same place anymore.
Yeah. Change.
Yeah. Either they're changing or I'm changing or we're both changing, and that's okay. But it's a good indicator of where I'm at too, who I'm hanging out with and who I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, for me, that's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
All right. So
Fears today.
You know, I have more fears about like losing what has been given to me in recovery, really, my clean time, my wife,
Would that be attached to like fear of failure?
Yeah, definitely, Kevin.
Yeah.
Put your finger right on that immediately. Yeah.
That's because I can relate.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I definitely, and I think that's just also because like I really, really love my life right now. Mm-hmm. It's really good, like for sure, like the best it's ever been. And it's kind of been like that for the last 12 years for me or something like that. Every year I could say this year's better than the last year,
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm on a good streak.
Good. You are on a good streak. Mm-hmm. I have one constant fear still. That's fear of medication. Mm-hmm. Like if I have an ailment or something physical going on that I have to take medication over, and especially if it's a narcotic.
Yeah.
I am so scared of like having that getting a grip on me.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I've seen many people.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Go get loaded over it.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that a bunch. I've seen both very successful surgeries and whatnot where they make it through just fine. And
I have a buddy that lost his leg in a motorcycle accident, and he had to take mass amounts of pain meds, but he had the entire fellowship surround him during that process, and he was able to get through it and stay clean.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I just went through it fucking 4 times in a matter of
6 you did,
months.
Huh?
Mm.
Surgery, pain meds off. Surgery, pain meds off. Surgery, pain meds off. Inflammation, pain meds off. Like it's.
Oh yeah.
And I've also done it where it's like it doesn't work and I relapse. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Both.
Yeah. No, it's no joke for sure.
Yeah. So that's my biggest fear today.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's like kind of an inevitable that as we age at some point.
Yeah.
We have to get into the medical system.
Yeah.
A bit more.
It's exactly what you said, though. I attached all that, what I said, to what you said, a fear of losing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like just that one fucking pain pill can destroy your life.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that scares the crap out of me because I love exactly what you said. I love my life.
Yeah.
I've got a weird fear going on right now that I'm struggling with a little bit. It's like the fear of there's so much shit going on that I have no control over, and then a lot of my personal life stuff is like up in the air, and I have this fear that I'm gonna miss something. Like I'm gonna miss what I'm supposed to do or the direction that I'm supposed to go. And so it has me in an endless obsessive loop of research and overanalyzing and processing and just insanity.
Josh's brain is a serious bad neighborhood.
Yeah, I believe
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder what the fuck's going on up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like a storm.
Or a carnival ride that never stops.
No, there's not a whole lot of
Not a whole lot of fun.
No, it's not a whole lot of fun going on. It's pretty wild.
I know there's listeners that can relate to that.
I imagine a roller coaster ride like wee, and then oh shit. And,
yeah. At least there's a wee.
Yeah, there's a wee in there. Yeah.
All right, so we did those. Now let's move on to assets. We did fears, so now we're on to assets.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, do you have like a list of your assets?
Not on me.
Like in your pocket, you just pull it out.
I mean, we always joke like this. This the running joke is like this is everybody's favorite part of the 4-step is your assets, which is ironic. Not everybody's favorite part.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was. I don't know how you guys did it, but we would call people and like talk to our like close friends about what assets we had.
That, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just because I don't know, it's kind of helpful to help me. For me, it helped me spot them, and when I got to that spot in the 4-step, I was kind of like, "Do I have some?"
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah, today I would say I'm really like proud of how kind I can be. Yeah, one of my sponsees called me yesterday, and he said he thanked me for being the one person in his life who he's never felt judged by.
Yeah.
So I think I can be like
Safe.
Yeah, or like compassionate.
Safe,
Non-judgmental.
compassionate, kind.
Yeah.
Non-judgmental. Those are all 4 of them in one little.
That's solid.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my experience sponsoring guys has really been a great lesson in unconditional love for people. It's really helped me, like, taught me how to, like, just love people, when they're at their best, at their worst, when they want to listen to you, when they don't want to listen to you, And,
so loving.
yeah, through their victories, through their screw ups, and,
It's a good quality, dude. I love that about Sadie.
Mm-hmm.
She meets me right where I'm at, like, the good and the bad. And like without much wavering, which is amazing to be able to have that with somebody,
Yeah.
It's a keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, that's one of the reasons why I've really loved it as like a service commitment is sponsoring, is because it's been such a good like school for that. Just being able to be a source of love for these guys,
Yeah.
and kind of in that same realm, like a lot of my sponsees have complimented me, and I don't know what to call this, but they said I'm really good at just like explaining things in a way that
Articulate.
is, yeah, they said I can like really break things down in a way that is understandable.
Aware.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Aware is a good way. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
for
a good,
sure.
that's a good term for it. I said kindness, and this is a quick little story, but I said kindness because when I made amends to my mom, one of the things she said was she was proud of how kind of a person I ended up being.
Yeah.
Really, that has,
Like obviously because she's looking at you today,
yeah,
and you were raised by your dad,
yeah, pretty much.
and so you broke that cycle.
Yeah,
That's one of the best things that ever happens to us,
yeah,
because
Yeah,
it's very
absolutely.
common in the rooms is that we get to break the cycle of our childhood
yeah,
or generational trauma. We get to break that too.
yeah, absolutely. I kind of tight. Like those are like not being that is like one of my biggest fears. Like
Yeah.
But yeah, all the evidence points to that. I've succeeded. And become my own person.
I love that.
What about some things that you say about yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I think I brought those up because I feel like I value those and I kind of do agree with them. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like genuinely, love all my sponsees, and I think I like to extend that unconditional love to my friends too. When we got married, Liz put that in her vows to me, like as a trait she recognized in me,
Is what?
being able to extend unconditional love to people. Yeah.
That is awesome.
So, yeah. Yeah, it was, it is something I really value, right? And never expected to gain either, And honestly, I didn't really think about it, Kevin, until you just keep being like, and nobody really was looking out for you. I'm like, it is kind of a miracle, to end up here.
Absolutely a miracle. 100%.
So, yeah, I don't know. And I think too, I'm like pretty good these days at being disciplined and dedicated.
Good one, dude.
Good
ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Intelligent.
Thank you. Thank you, Josh.
Hey, you're welcome.
One of my fears is being stupid, so I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I have gotten very good at,
Authentic.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I can speak to that. I do really try to show up and be my authentic self everywhere, you know, and it's really my belief too, even like at meetings, like when I get to share myself in a meeting, like of myself, that's our strongest message anyway, you know. Like I'll probably never be a convention speaker, but I'd like to think that I do a pretty good job at touching some hearts, you know.
Yeah.
By just putting the truth out there.
I recognize that in you. You know, I've heard you a few times, and I recognize that you share the good and the bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the solution a lot of times, like, and this is how I got through it, or
Yeah.
whatever the case was when you were sharing. And I recognize the ability to be open-minded. You know?
Yeah.
Like, parts of your story, I remember that you were open-minded to recognizing things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people take that denial like far into their recovery.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's just an observation.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. And I think it's kind of funny for me, like the experience. I'm sure you guys will identify with this, but I think I do a good job at questioning when I think I'm right, because I think like there's like this foundation of like after you get clean, like your whole world changes so fast. Like everything you thought was real.
Yeah.
You're like, none of that mattered. Like, or whatever. It was all wrong. Like, you know, like you like kind of like see that you've been like living in this delusion for
Question everything.
Yeah.
I get pumped when something new comes up, or something I find out I'm wrong.
Definitely.
Or like new information. Just like that when you said something about the recognition of having to control your reaction or your like that
anger.
That's so simple, but for me that was probably going to be the most standout part of the whole podcast, because it was like, oh shit, that's fucking tool belt, dude.
Yeah, right.
If I'm trying to fucking stop myself from, like, I'm angry, I need to be careful.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's an earlier indicator for me.
Right.
Like, instead of like getting lost in rumination and then realizing I'm angry, if I'm recognizing like I can't act out in that way, like it seems like that would happen faster, so I'm gonna catch it sooner. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great to be wrong.
That's tight.
Yeah.
All right. Any other assets you can think of?
Yeah. You know, I feel like this is like a cop-out answer, but it's the truth too. I feel like I have, in the same way I have like varying shades of like every defect, you know? I feel like I have varying shades of every asset, you know, I guess, but I think those are like the major ones I also really value, right? Like but yeah, I think, you know, I can both, if you name it, I could probably tell you a time I've done it, you know?
Right. No, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Totally. Like, we can go down all the list of spiritual principles, and at one time we've practiced these, or many of the times, I'm sure for you, is that you still practice a lot of these.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're like the ones that stand out, the assets that just stand out for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think those
Unconditional love and
Yeah.
compassion and all that stuff. Empathy.
yeah.
Kindness.
Yeah. Right.
Kindness. Yeah.
I really like to be kind of like we're talking about, like a source of love and safety and reliability.
That's cool. You make this a priority.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I can
That's cool.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I like to be a safe place.
Right.
I don't want anybody to feel fear.
Yeah. Right. Like our literature talks about, like that healing power of empathy. You know, like I want to be part of that, you know,
Yeah.
like the healing power of empathy that happens here, you know?
I don't know. I think, well, I know I still have sponsees that will say that they were afraid to call. Not because they know I'll judge them, because I won't. Just their own shame and guilt about what they're doing doesn't want to come to light for whatever reason. They don't want to tell their sponsor.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things I really tried to push is your support group, right? If you can't tell your sponsor, go to your support group.
Definitely.
And your support group, hopefully, will tell you to call your sponsor.
Yeah.
Or help you process.
Or process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they can process with their support group, hell yeah, it will
Sometimes
make.
processing with like, so there's times where, like, over time too, you find out who's the right person for what kind of thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll find that, maybe it could have been anybody, but I needed to hear that from this person before I could process it with you.
Yeah.
Or like it just,
I support that.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've definitely had that experience too, where there's just like kind of like this block in saying it. And it's just like, you got to go to like the low hanging fruit. Just get it out one time. And that makes like the next time easier. It's like, if I can just get it out to this person it's easiest to say it to them, then I can finally say it to my sponsor afterward.
Yeah. That's, yeah, I support that 100%. I don't care who it goes to as long as you get to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then the next time will be easier to talk about it. It's like the secrets will get us killed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely I agree. Like the thing you don't want to do is tell nobody,
Yeah.
That is
Well, the fact that I'm bringing that up because you're a safe person,
yeah.
For your guys or people that you sponsor. That's so cool.
Yeah, thanks. I take it really, really seriously. I didn't intend to I don't know. I didn't intend to end up as like primarily a sponsor in service, right? Just kind of.
People fall into niches,
Yeah, it just happened,
niche.
Yeah, it just happened.
Yeah.
And I know, it's fine. I feel you're kind of like that too, Kevin. I don't know what other service you do, but I know you have a lot of guys that you sponsor.
I also have a lot of time on my hands too.
Yeah, sure.
But and I agree with you because I've got good friends that they're circuit speakers.
Yeah, right.
And because they have a gift,
Right.
and they just fall into that. And then I know other people that are hardcore on the line service. They provide their service by committees and everything that has to do with running Narcotics Anonymous, and they do an amazing job. And people just find their place. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a SPAD that talks about all of us being like different members of a circus.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, at times it's definitely a circus.
Yeah.
It's true.
That means somebody's a clown.
That exists.
Why are you looking at me?
That exists.
Wasn't well. I mean, it felt like it was directed at you.
That's fine. I have a friend back east who he's so good at making newcomers feel good and welcome because he'll go up to them after meetings, start cracking jokes with them,
Yeah.
I've struggled to find service. I've struggled to find what it is for me. Like I've done all kinds of different. I've done all of it probably. I don't know if there's anything I don't know of anything. I haven't been of service at region. I've tried area. I've done media. I don't know what it is. Sponsorship is not it for sure. You guys are talking about being a safe place. I'm over here like I ruffle feathers, dude. I'm fucking
Not as much anymore.
yeah.
You really don't.
Well, I think there's still an intensity that I carry sometimes that
Yeah.
doesn't allow people to always feel like I'm a safe place for them in that kind of setting. I think that's just me hypothesizing.
Do you
on
think
why.
that or do you feel that?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it, and then I analyze it. Obviously. But also, I don't really like sponsoring. I've done that before too, and it's not really.
There's nowhere in our literature that says everybody has to sponsor.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Yeah, for sure. I've been raising my hand lately, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's new for me. Like I'm like,
That is new.
maybe I need to try again. I've been putting my hand up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I really like that you brought that up about service because we don't always cover service, but my experience around service is like I've done all the other positions, regional service. I've done area service, group service, large convention service, small convention service. And, I've always been attracted to convention service throughout my recovery, but I found that I would take away my time from my family while I was doing that. And so I made a promise to my wife and children that I would do 1 year of service convention level and then take a year off. And so I wasn't constantly
Are you
running.
still doing that?
Actually, I haven't done convention service in a few years now.
I'll say it's been a minute now.
Yeah. And I just don't find that desire anymore because my life is full. Right?
Yeah, right.
And like you said, you fall into sponsorship. It just happens to be taking up all my time right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So
What do you guys? Let me ask you guys. What is your guys' biggest assets today? What do you feel like you value that you have right now?
You want to go first? Let me go.
I'm funny as fuck. No, I was just
Time you
kidding.
made me laugh today.
I really don't know. Like, I really like that I have got to a place where I'm very not judgmental, you know, because I got here like way, racism, bigotry, homophobia, and it took years in process working the steps to realize that all that misinformation I was given when we were getting loaded or, as a kid, all that is misinformation given to me by misinformed people.
Right.
And I never really felt it inside, all that racism and bigotry.
Right.
But I still spewed it because that's what, that's the information that I was given.
Yeah.
And the fact that today I don't have even a shade of that stuff is probably an asset that I'm very proud of.
Right.
I actually see the world for what it is.
Right.
Like
anonymity, practice anonymity and the rest of
yeah,
your life.
yeah. But even outside the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, just seeing the world for what it is, like
There's a lot of assets under that umbrella,
yeah,
like unconditional love, understanding, empathy, compassion, kindness.
Right.
yeah, very true.
Yeah, it carries that bucket's carries a lot of different things.
Just learning certain lessons about humanity. Small, quick example is women in our society are just fucking put in the bottom of the ladder. They're not even given the slightest amount close to what males get in society. And understanding that it's so far off that for me, I see it as only males can change or be an example for other males that
Right.
to treat women like an equal human being. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
Because there's always been women's rights, but shit really has been so slow in change. And that's just that's a personal perspective, and it's got nothing to do with Narcotics Anonymous, but that's how the program, the spiritual principles, has changed for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Open-mindedness is that, and so non-judgmental.
Yeah, it's a good example, I think, of how, like, for me, all my values in and out of NA are really informed by spiritual principles first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. What's yours?
I'm creative, loving, strong, leader, intelligent.
Strong as in strength or strong as in
Strong, just character.
character? Yeah.
Strong.
You're tall.
That's not you. Compassionate, empathetic, understanding, resilient, brave.
You got a whole list.
Consistent. reliable, loyal. I know in the setting of sponsorship, I just spoke on like maybe not feeling like a safe place for people, but I am a safe human. Like I definitely create safe space for people. So maybe safe might not have been the right word in regards to sponsorship, but there's probably something along the lines of safe that I could work on in regards to like sponsorship specifically. Determined.
All right, I'll give you one that you haven't mentioned. I don't think from the very first time Josh and I started working together until now, probably the most predominant spiritual principle that he's embraced is open-minded. And I totally see willing to be open-minded. Yeah.
And open-mindedness.
Yeah.
For sure.
To see things differently now, you know, because when you got clean,
Authentic.
were the same as me when I got clean. You know, we just had a small window of what we looked through.
Yeah.
And you're very open-minded now. Open-minded.
Yeah, I think that's the most amazing part about recovery. I think assets and principles you can snowball. Once you get a couple of them, if you actually practice them, it opens the door for so many more.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with you.
And you can just roll right into like, holy shit, dude! I do all of these amazing, good, positive, healthy things.
Yeah, definitely.
It just snowballs.
Yeah. All right. So that's assets.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, that's cool. We don't usually have people ask us questions.
I want to know. Yeah.
We didn't cover shame and guilt, but you did talk about a lot of shame and guilt already.
Yeah. Those are probably things I would have talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your childhood. All that stuff. So I think we covered that. And we did reservations, resentment.
Consequences.
Yes.
Consequences that you are living with today because of your using.
Yeah, good question. You know, I gotta say, first of all, I did not get what I deserve quite a bit, right? Like
Criminally.
criminally, or even like, I shared so many needles.
Oh, yeah.
And I got nothing,
Me too, dude.
My blood work's good, and I fully expected at least to have hepatitis when I got clean because of how many needles I shared with people, yeah. And yeah, I don't know if I really had that many consequences that hung on, to be honest.
Great.
Yeah, I am so fortunate, honestly. Like I said, I really had a lot of close calls. I imagine one day health things will come from me. I have a lot of tattoos
Maybe.
that I don't like.
That's all stuff that hasn't happened.
Yeah, for sure. I have some dumb tattoos I got in basements,
That's the worst.
Yeah,
God,
no,
Dan.
I mean, I
You're
really,
squeaky clean.
I really made it out pretty well. I mean, I got an underage. That's like my only arrest.
Yeah.
An underage with that came with that psych ward stay.
But
When you
that's
say an underage, just it means that you got arrested underage. Like,
Underage drinking
Yeah.
I was 17. Yep.
so, but that's a child, a minor.
Yeah.
All that's closed.
Yeah, and I got it. I went to they had, I don't know if they call it the same thing here, but ARD. It's like some program where you can get an underage charge expunged too.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's just like a drug and alcohol class you go to. And I went to it, and
That's kind of cool.
yeah, and then you lose your license for 3 months, and they knock it off your record.
Wow.
So
That's pretty tight. All right. So no consequences.
yeah, I mean, I'm really trying to seek them, and I think I honestly made it out pretty.
That's something to be grateful for.
It's crazy, honestly. Like I said, I had so many close calls, and I did so many dumb things that that really didn't result in anything, you know, like sleeping around, you know, and nothing, you know, and sharing needles and all that stuff. Like I squeezed out unscathed somehow.
So it sounds like the only consequences you had were moral consequences.
Yeah, definitely. Like emotionally destroyed, right? When I was getting clean. And I mean, even the thing that pushed me into getting clean had little to do with anything physical. You know, it was all emotional, really.
Yeah.
Like a spiritual bottom.
Yeah.
More than a physical bottom.
Well, that works for us. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, we've known people that got to the program after popping pills for 2 years, you know, and that was the worst that ever happened to them, was that they came on their own.
Yeah.
They go, oh, I got to stop doing this. And then they showed up in the rooms.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And so no consequences except for moral consequences.
Yeah. Right.
How are you showing your gratitude for your recovery today?
Yeah.
Service, sponsorship.
For sure. Yeah. The big areas I really show up are sponsorship. I mean, I have some like long chatty sponsees, and we do a lot. They're all active, you know. We do a lot of step work.
Yeah.
You know. So I put a lot of time in that area, you know. Yeah. And I helped start 2 meetings in the area recently.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, a lot.
I like doing that. That's one, like,
Yeah, you do.
yeah, I am good at that. I'm good at like
Creating,
getting things moving, keeping them going.
Yeah.
It's looking at the big picture, what's needed, how can I help? Like,
Definitely. And that's so in my old area, like basically every meeting is a literature meeting. And they have like different varying formats of a literature meeting, but every meeting you read some sort of literature. And so it was like a little strange to me when I moved here that so many meetings are like even just
speaker discussion.
So many. And so that was like strange for me. And so I really benefited a lot, I think, from my time in literature meetings all the time when I was new, you know. And so I started 2 literature meetings in the area so we could have a little bit more, because I really know, like at some point I was like feeling like the itch to make some literature meetings, and when I went through the meeting list, there just wasn't that many. And so kind of like you said, Josh, I was like, oh, we need more.
There's a hole to fill.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I really felt like it would serve the addicts in the area to have a place where we can meet and actually just read the books, you know, like and selfishly too, I was like, I don't read as much unless I'm in a literature meeting, you know. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, my old sponsor Steve, when I moved to this area, he said if you know if there's a meeting, if there's a need, start one.
Yeah,
we were talking about a men's meeting, and that I find what you just said to be on par. If there's a need, start one.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I think it's been rewarding. You know, I think it's been good. I think it's been good for the area. At one of the meetings too, I've seen a newcomer come in, you know, with 30 days post-treatment, and she has like a couple years now, you know. She has like
That's
3 years now, yeah. And we gave her the coffee commitment, and it was like,
I love seeing that.
It was cool, yeah. She got like so excited about coffee.
Is that?
Yeah, why don't you plug one of the meetings?
Sure. So that meeting is Book Around and Find Out on Thursday. And the other meeting I helped start is Limitless Growth Group on
Book Around and Find Out
Mondays. Yep.
is on Thursdays in SAC.
Yeah, it's in like ESAC.
All right.
And then Book Around's in Arden. Or no, sorry. Limitless Growth is in Arden.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So if anybody's ever in the area in Sacramento, check out those 2 meetings.
Yeah, they're good.
And you'll see Dan there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we're
Those are the 2 that you go to every week.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of like wild card. My Monday night is my home group now, so I don't always make Book Around now. I make, you know, wherever.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Book Around, or not, geez, Limitless Growth, I started the meeting like in my neighborhood. So That's why.
So there's no excuse.
That's right. Yeah. Very, very convenient. I walk there sometimes when it's nice out. So it's nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. All right. So we did all the cards. Is there any other questions before we move on to the story time?
Story time.
Do you, I think I mentioned to you, like some extravagant stories, scary, or heartwarming or whatever. If you have more than one, you can tell a couple.
I got a couple stories. I got a lot of stories. So, I mean,
what's the biggest one, the top of your mind there?
One that stands out the most to you.
well, let's pick a genre. Scary, heartwarming.
Oh, you pick.
What do you want to talk about? It could be. It
doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be anything
when
crazy
you're
or
loaded
special.
or clean.
Okay.
Yeah, just a story. It
Start
doesn't
with
have to
one.
There's no scale of best, worst, this, that. It's just whatever you pick.
Okay.
Tell
Well,
one scary and one heartwarming.
Okay. I'll start with scary, which, I used to use with this girl who OD'd all the time. It was just like, she could not stop mixing other drugs with heroin, and she would OD all the time because of it.
Yeah, that's scary already.
Yeah, and she died like after I got clean. She did.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's another thing that's a little different, I think, maybe from being so involved with opiates. Is like, God, my old friend group is like a graveyard, Like, most of them are, if they didn't go to prison, they died, almost all of them,
Some of them probably died in prison.
I don't know. Yeah.
Just being a smart ass.
Yeah, no, it's possible. Yeah.
Maybe not the best place.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, when they go to prison, I haven't heard from them, the ones that went,
You never know, yeah.
Yeah. And some of them, my friends who weren't in NA but tried to like do their own thing. Like I had another one I just learned about recently who relapsed and died, even though he's in his 30s with kids. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Is there a specific instance of like that with that girl that stands out, or is it just...
Yes. So, but she would OD all the time, and I would just deal with it because, like, we're using together.
Deal with it, like try to bring her back to life or something?
Yeah, sometimes. And just like, not every overdose requires intervention, really. Like that, people will call it falling out,
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like a minor OD. But I mean, they still like turn, like their lips will turn blue, and
Yeah, it's hard to judge where that line is.
sometimes they wake up, but sometimes they don't. Yeah, that's like the reality of it. And there was this one day we couldn't find anything, and she knew someone in Philly, so we drove to Philly, and she was drinking wine the whole ride there, and it was like we met up with this dealer, and right away I could tell, I was like, oh, this is like a real ass fucking criminal. I was like,
Yeah.
because he had like bodyguards who escorted us in, to this, like, in Philly, it's really common. There's like abandoned buildings. They call them bandos. It's so common. Like, and
bandos.
People, yeah. Like, if you hear someone from Philly share their story, you'll hear them go like, oh, I was living in a bando. It's like normal.
Trap house?
Yeah. That's basically
same thing?
That's basically what it is. Yeah. It's like an abandoned building people sell drugs out of. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, we were like escorted in, and this girl I was with asked if we could use there because we were both like a little sick. So it's like it's an emergency basically.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, yeah, that's cool. But he was like, only do 2 bags. He's like, these are strong. I don't want you to like, do 2 bags to start. And she was like talking some shit. No, I'm good. And he's like, no, listen, if I'm going to let you use here, just do 2 bags. And like, he said it to her a couple times. And then she, we got high, and we were just like hanging out for a second, kind of like gathering up our things. And I could like tell someone was about to OD before they would OD.
Really?
Because you can start to see it. They start getting like weird, start getting spacey, start maybe like saying a couple things that don't make so much sense. Their skin gets pale. I could see like some of the bluing in her lips already. And I was like, oh, fuck, this girl's about to OD right here. And And so I was like shaking her. I was like, Jenna, no. And she fell out, and I saw one of the guys like fan her. She had her bags that she had used stacked, and I saw one of the guys pick it up and fanned it out, and there was like 4 or 5 there. Like she had used 4 or 5 bags. And so
she got in trouble.
well, I was like shaking her to wake her up, and it took a while, and she did eventually wake up, but I could tell because more people started like gathering that I was like, if this girl doesn't wake up, it's not like...
It's not a good scenario.
No. I'm the weak link there. In a house of criminals.
You're a liability.
Yeah.
And they don't know you.
No. It was the first time I ever met them. And so
They're going to bury 2 bodies.
that's how I was starting to feel, And I didn't know, but that certainly was the vibe in the room for me anyway,
Jeez.
And but luckily she got up. Like for real, she like no sooner like opened her eyes, and like they were like shuttling us out of the building, and they were like, I don't know where they went, but they shuffled us out of the building and they're like, bye, They like walked out with us. So I feel like they like, I don't know, picked another abandoned building.
Dude, I've been in those situations, and I know that feeling, that exact feeling of like, oh, I am not going to make it out of here alive.
Yeah. So I was like, this is feeling dangerous suddenly.
Yeah.
Just
I know
like,
that.
Why'd you
like the history of these guys, and that you wouldn't put it past them to.
No, right. That's the
you.
thing. I'm like, I don't know, but they definitely don't want to go to jail for this girl
they're
dying.
like, kid, you better hope this girl wakes up.
That's how it felt.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they'll never find you.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, that's a scary feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
heartwarming.
I had one, but because I kind of already touched on it, which was like probably one of my most heartwarming things was when I made amends to my mom. She told me that she was proud of the kind person I became. That really meant a lot to me. But I could think of another one. Give me a second.
No, I mean, you don't have to search if anything came up.
Yeah.
Is that the worst thing that ever happened to you while you were using? Was almost, if that chick didn't wake up, you're pretty sure you were going to get buried?
There's like, I have a lot, like probably like 50 kind of stories like that. There's another time I was in like a crack house in Redding, and I was with my friend's dad.
In Redding, California?
No, there's 2.
I was about to ask, there's got to be a Redding in Pennsylvania.
There is. There's a Redding, Pennsylvania.
With a crack house.
Yeah, I was in a crack house, and the person who lived there was like a prostitute, and she was there with this guy who was smoking crack, who was like supposed to be the guy he was supposed to get us like a bunch of dope. And like my friend's dad was not sensing what was going on, but I was, like they had me go pick up two young kids, and these 2 young kids were being weird, kind of like talking among themselves, like quietly. And they were trying to get us these drugs, but it was taking a really, really long time. Like we were sitting in this crack house waiting. It was like hours. And then the older guy who was supposed to be cop for us started smoking crack and getting weird and started screaming. At one point, my buddy's dad went to the bathroom and he like ripped his crack pipe and started screaming. He was like, I fucking hate pussies, Dan. Are you a fucking pussy? At me. And I was like, I'm not a fucking pussy. I was like screaming back at him.
You and your friend and your friend's dad.
It was just me and my friend's dad. Yeah. And so he went to the bathroom. I'm like by myself with this guy getting wrecked on crack,
Ew.
And I was like dope sick, kind of waiting. I'm like, fuck. And I could just sense that they brought these young guys over at some point because it was like, hey, if we can't get this dope for these guys, we're taking their money. You know what I mean? Like, that was like the point of the young guys there, right?
Oh, they were going to rob you.
Yeah. And then a further confirmation, like my buddy, when he came out of the bathroom, I was finally like, hey, let's go get some food quick. And they were like trying to convince us not to leave. They're like, are you sure you guys want to leave? Because like, like they could come through any minute now. And we were like, yeah, no, we're going to get Burger King. We'll be right back. And we left. And then I started like pointing out signs to my friend's dad, who was like an old school fucking drug addict. You know, he'd been like in and out of jail for like his whole life. Like, and as I was explaining the science, he was like, "Oh shit, you're right." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "We're about to get robbed, dude." You know, and
Ugh,
and like
that's
we no sooner got to Burger King and they called us and they're like, you know, we were only gone 5 minutes. Like, "Oh, the drugs are here. You guys got to come back. Come back." You know. All right, yeah, we'll be right back. We just left.
and you did not go back.
Yeah, we just drove away. Yeah.
Yeah, we probably dodged a bullet on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, especially especially somebody or people that have been doing crack.
Yeah.
I have experienced with people doing crank. The psychosis,
Yeah.
they make shit up. I was in a situation where some people had done a bunch of crank, and they showed up at my place, when I wasn't there, and they stole everything and kidnapped, my road dog, and later found out that they thought I was trying to rip them off, or I forget what it was. Whatever they were thinking was like so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That like even in the state of mind I was in, I was like, you guys are fucking off your rocker.
Yeah. Yeah.
That they would do that. They just make shit up in their head.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And that's, I could tell. I was like, this is going nowhere good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, not sure what's going on, but it ain't good.
Yeah.
And there's guns involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I'm like pussy, Dan.
I know.
You pussy? I'm not a fucking pussy.
I know. I was like, God damn, gotta act tough right now. Holy shit. Yeah.
that's crazy.
Another time I was getting fronts of dope from these guys and they gave me like bunk shit, and they like one of the guys had just got out of state prison because he beat a murder charge. And the other guy got out of state prison because he crushed a guy's fingers with pliers for not paying up on coke. So
Okay, so upstanding people.
yes, and and they were trying to collect from this fake dope. I couldn't get any money out of it because it was fake, you know. And but because I'm also an addict, I tried to do a lot of it to try to, you know, because it had like a little bit in it, you know. I was trying to make it work, and so I was like, "No, it's fake, dude. I couldn't get it." And they go, "Oh, if it's fake, give it back." And I was like, "Fuck," you know. I'm like, "Well, I already used a lot of it," you know. So I was kind of like in this spot where they were like kind of pursuing me. Apparently, I don't really know, you know. And I kind of challenged them to come find me, and I don't know, nothing ever came of it, and I'm assuming it's just because they were on parole, honestly.
On parole, and they knew their shit was bunk.
Probably, and they're probably like, this isn't worth like fighting with him for it, I guess. But they did try to threaten me into paying, and I just, you know.
I mean, that's just par for the course, living in the worlds we did.
Yeah, for sure.
I had no driver's license one time and had been just constantly getting pulled over driving on a suspended.
Brutal.
And I needed to go to Sacramento to re-up, and somebody else was pitching in with me, and I was fucking tore up, and I was like, somebody else needs to drive with a license. And somebody else drove. I got out of the car. I walked down to go pick up, and somebody came out of the woodwork, and they were, my guess is they were probably on PCP, and put a pistol to my head, stripped the dude that was selling me the pills, and I had a pistol in the car, and I went back to the car and
Stripped you like stripped naked?
no, just like
searched you.
Yeah, and I think it was a couple grand or something. It wasn't anything crazy, but like that was all I had. And went back to the car to go get my gun, and I got back to the car and I told them, like, hand me the pistol. They're like, what happened? And I was like, I got to try to get the money back or whatever. And then they took off in my car.
With your pistol?
Yeah, with my pistol. And so I'm like, I'm down in like I think it was probably South Sac. It's the South Sac probably. South Sac or West Sac. I was not in a good area. I don't remember where I was, but yeah. I ended up what made me think of that is like you challenged them to come find me or whatever. I was trying to find my car for like I don't know, like a fucking week, and eventually I got a hold of the person whose money it was that was pitching in with me, because it was like a couple people removed from where the money actually came from.
Right. Yeah.
And I called him, and I was like, you can give me my car back or I'm coming to find you. And he was like, he called me back like 20 minutes later, and then I went and he gave me the car back and tried to front a bunch of pills to me and all this. Anyway, just maybe pretty wild story.
Yeah, we have a few.
Yeah, and I was fucking so spun out, psychosis, crazy.
Yeah.
That for that whole experience, I'm glad they took off.
Yeah.
I'm glad they took off. I probably would have killed the dude or got killed, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm sure we all have dodged a few bullets out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's about it. And Dan, we really thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, thank you guys.
So before we go, one question. Like after doing your 4 steps over the years, is there any like one specific thing, the positive thing that you keep getting after dropping your 4-step and doing your 5th step?
Yeah.
Is there like a reoccurring good feeling or?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel good right now. Yeah, I think, regularly becoming vulnerable with people has been like one of the things I took away from the 4th step. Yeah, I mean, I have found my relationships and how close my capacity to feel close to somebody is directly correlated to how well I am to be vulnerable with them.
Yeah.
And so over and over, like doing that with sponsees, doing it with my sponsor has been, like this amazing experience where I get to feel much closer with people than I previously was, like just kind of in like one experience suddenly where our relationship changes,
Yeah, I'll tell you, Dan, that your authenticity, right, is attractive to like people that potentially are going to ask you, or the people that you sponsor. Is your authenticity. That's part of the reason I feel that people are so open with you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And that relationship changes because you give them that, like, this is me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I try. Thank you. Yeah, I try to put myself out there. That's another thing I really learned from it too, is kind of like what you're saying, and from that experience with my sponsor too, is like, when I am willing to put my vulnerability out there, it's been my experience that people respond with their own vulnerability.
It's attractive.
Right. And so even if they're unwilling, if I put some out there, I find I get some back, and, so it's like, I try to like push myself when I'm uncomfortable to be just a little uncomfortable, but Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, thanks for coming out, Dan.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
This was a good one. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
All
Thanks
right.
everybody for listening.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate you being here and being part of this community. Just a quick heads up before we wrap. The people we talk to on this show are just sharing their own personal stories. They do not speak for any specific recovery program or group. It's just their experience, strength, and hope. Well, that's it for now, and please remember that you can follow us on any of your streaming platform that you listen to, and somewhere in there on that streaming platform there is a donate button if you care to help out with our monthly fees that we have to pay to produce each episode, and there's a follow button. There's also somewhere on your streaming platform you can text us and send us a response or email or check in. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you.